I can't do it. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about another three more major industries that have been destroyed from the Trump administration, because as Ronald Reagan said, the buck stops here when he fired all of those air traffic controllers. I think he was the one that said that. And in my opinion, Patrick Barker and I chatted about whether or not Pelosi had the power in the Senate to pass the CARES Act. But I do think, and I could be wrong, I do think that the president had the power to veto the bill if it wasn't for the best interest of the American people. Now, if I'm wrong, I want you to comment on that, because I don't know how that works, but I'm blaming everything on Trump because he knows the truth. And the truth is not what we're getting from the media. So what you're going to see today, we're going to have a little bit of comedy, we're going to have a little bit of political conversation, and we're going to talk about an American pastime which everyone, and I don't watch football, I've never, ever, since I was born, ever turned on the TV to watch a football game. I've been stuck in people's houses to watch a football game. My grandfather knew the name of every player, and in football and baseball. He knew when they were going to be on. He knew what, and he remembered what inning they did what in and what quarter they did what. And my grandfather had a photogenic memory for that stuff. And as a child, maybe that's why I never watched football, because whenever I stayed at Gramps' house, we had to watch every single game of golf, which I actually enjoy. I'll actually watch a golf game. I think that's amazing. I think that telling somebody you're going to hit a ball a quarter of a mile away in one or two shots, it's just the physics involved in that is just so amazing. The wind, you have to take into account the wind, the height of the hill, the type of grass that you're on, how hard to hit the ball. The ball has to, the golf club itself has to be perfectly aligned either to the center or left of the golf club. There's so much involved with hitting a ball 1,200 feet in one or two shots. So golf, I actually enjoy golf. Tennis is another one. I tried to play tennis. I was not successful at that at all. Even though I was in good shape, it beat the hell out of me. So, but football and baseball, never have I turned a game on. I was at the third or the fourth game of the World Series of the Mets in 1969. That was the first and only baseball game I ever went to. I have the hat, and I have that long orange horn that came with the game. I actually still have it somewhere. And football, we had front row seats at the 8-yard line at New Jersey, the place in New Jersey, the Meadowlands. And I actually watched some game in 1990 that some of the people I was with saying, this is the most historic game in the history of football. You are the luckiest person in the world to be here. And all I could think about is it's like 7 degrees out. I want to go home. That's true. So I don't know what game that was. Could have been 1990 or 1991. But apparently, as history turns out, it was an historic game. And I actually think there was a guy named the Refrigerator playing that game, but I don't remember it. I wanted to go home. It was a 12-hour day from the time we left to the time we got home. 3 hours in traffic to get out of the Meadowlands. It's ridiculous the way they designed that place. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a tradition. This is true. Of American history, sports, period, has been completely annihilated, destroyed, wiped out off the face of the map. And I'm going to show you a few pictures that I took from different football games, college football games. I don't know if the NFL is playing. I actually didn't look that up. I Googled football games. I Googled football games, and I came to three games, which I'll show you. But before I get involved with how the ticket sales are down 99%, Frankfurters and potato chips, popcorn, pretzels, beer, soda, I don't even know if it is at 1% of what it was. I did some serious research on Frankfurter sales and how they've dropped about 75% over the last year in the stores outright, about 75%, because people aren't buying that junk. And I went in to see how they were made, what they were made of. Basically, they're made out of every piece of garbage that no one would eat on its own. Frankfurters are, but probably the hamburgers are no better. I don't know what's in a pretzel. And I will tell you this. The average cost of a Frankfurter at a football game, according to one of the articles that I read, is $5.19. Some places have hot dogs as high as $7, and there was one instance at $9 for a Frankfurter. $9. That's crazy. And then you could spend, the average family or group of four spends about $300 just for a regular football game. That's not any of the major events. That's a ridiculous amount of money. So I think I remember football being canceled this year. But what the pictures that I'm going to show you empty stadiums of the college football games. Now, why do I have sweet cakes? Welcome, Princess. How are you today? I want to let you know that Warren is okay. I spoke with Warren last night about 11 o'clock, Princess Anne, and he was playing music for part of the day and mixing music, a Neil Young song, the one you commented on. But he's doing okay. He still has a small headache from the, he still has a small headache. So just wanted to let you know he's alive and well. Just has a headache. That's why he hasn't been on. Now, before I get involved with the seriousness of no Frankfurters, no football, no beers, I think, are not being sold. I don't think there are any refreshments at all in the stands that are being sold. I tried to Google it, but I came up with nothing. But before I do that, I want to post this comment that I have. I have a new scam. This is a good one. That's what I was laughing about in the beginning. This is going to be, if it works out, it'll be a good scam, and it'll be a good scam for you too. This is your opportunity to share the love. I, Michael Fazio, out of the goodness of my heart, without necessary or need of anything other than monetary benefits, for $10, for $10, I will release the troll of your choice. So if, let's say you have a friend, a family member, a fellow YouTuber who you know I have blocked for Christmas, but starting today, for Christmas or start, I will unblock that person, except there's a caveat. The caveat is, let me read it to you, and let me post it so it's clear as day. For $10, I will unblock the troll of your choice. But $50 to unblock the hemorrhoid, the reign of man, we all know who that is, and the CEBU boss of men. Those three are going to cost you $50. Now, let's see how much you really love trolls. And I'm going to have to also add something to that to make it worth your while and my while. I'll have to say, I don't know how long I could unblock them. These guys are ferocious trolls. I mean, the amount of stress, the amount of angst that they're going to put on my channel, I have to put a monetary number on it was even hard. $50 I thought was really cheap to unblock the hemorrhoid, the reign of man, and the CEBU boss man. I thought that was a dirt cheap price. I'm not kidding, because these three guys go to everybody's channel all day, every day. This is their life. So I could unblock them and then have to be inundated with trolling. I don't know that I want to do that, but I'll have to give it a time. I'll think about that, but maybe somebody could give me some advice. Like, for $10, which troll should I unblock? Oh, and there's going to be people that are not going to be able to be unblocked. For instance, the Ladyboy Lover in Manila, he cannot be unblocked. That's not possible. And because of the crap he started 4 years ago, that posting that I was dead and destroying hundreds of hours of my time and my family's time. That piece of Ladyboy Lover in Manila, he can't be unblocked. So there are going to be a few exceptions. You can ask me before you send money that you want to unblock somebody, which will all be $10 except for those three: the hemorrhoid, the reign of man, and the CEBU boss man. All the rest are 10. The Ladyboy Lover in Manila cannot be unblocked. And there is one other, or possibly two others, but you'll have to ask me before you send the money. Now, talking about sending money, I have a Patreon account. Now, I have rules. Now, you could believe what you want. You could believe I'm broke. You could believe I'm going to buy a cement mixer. You could believe that I'm not going to buy a cement mixer. You could believe I'm scamming people for a cement mixer. You could believe I'm going to scam people for the rebar bender money. You could believe people that I stole their money for the... You could believe I stole their money for the computer. You can believe anything you want. But on my Patreon account, I've told you all. I've explained it to you without any hesitation whatsoever. Patreon accounts are set up as a private entity, which I pay taxes on in the Philippines, and I have control as to who comes on my Patreon account. If you think I'm kidding about this, I have already removed in the last, yesterday, a $50 patron. And 5 weeks ago, two $50 patrons and a $10 patron or a $5 patron. I don't care. And the reason I removed them was, the rule is, you sign up for my Patreon account and you send me pretty much instantly a phone number and a way to talk to you on Skype. A US or Australian phone number and a way to talk to you on Skype. If you don't do that, I send you an email. I request that piece of information, which is optional. I explained to you that people have taken some of my videos and put them on their websites, which is not allowed. If they're private videos on my Patreon account, it's not allowed. So I want to know who's on my Patreon account. So I sent out a request for Moon. I won't say the last name. Then actually, it would have been 2 days ago now, 48 hours ago. And yesterday afternoon, the request time limit ended. Now, I gave that person 14 hours. I will not do that again. From now on, I request that if you become a member of my Patreon account, you send me your phone number immediately upon entering into the account and a Skype address so that I can look at you and see who you are and why you want to be on my account. If you don't feel that that's reasonable, then don't sign up. But it's a private account, and I have that option. And I did boot 150 yesterday, 250s last month, Green and some other guy, and I think it was a another $10 account. I don't care. I know that what you think and what the truth is, two different things. That's why I have the Fedora of Truth, and that's why I have the brown Fedora, which is my Monty Hall Let's Make a Deal hat. And the reason I say that is because if you want somebody unblocked from their troll status, I'll make a deal with you. $10 per troll, except for the hemorrhoid, the reign of man, and the CEBU of man, whatever that other guy's name, CEBU boss of men. Those guys are professional trolls. If I got to deal with that, but I have to also decide how long I'm going to unblock them. They could be unblocked, and then they won't be good little trolls. A little trolling is okay, but not the kind of crap. I don't want to hear about certain things, and they can't stop talking about certain things. The hemorrhoid now, he should be on the persona non grata with JLB, because those two guys, and I'm serious about this, I believe those guys, I believe they're either pitching or catching, but I believe both of them are playing baseball. And I think there's a whole group of people on here that are pitching and catching or talking about it behind the scenes. I think they're big baseball fans. And I'm pretty sure the hemorrhoid is one of those people, but I don't know for a fact. But that wouldn't stop him from being unblocked. What would stop him from being unblocked is he has this propensity to talk about people's wives, people's girlfriends, people's past history on Facebook. That kind of crap is just not going to fly on my channel. I'm not going to let it go. So he might get unblocked. You might pay $50 to unblock him. You probably won't, because everybody on YouTube knows hemorrhoid isn't worth 50 cents. But if you do, they're going to have to be some sort of restrictions. So there will be no talking about ex-girlfriends. There will be no talking, not just my girlfriend, but anybody's girlfriend. There will be no talking about wives. None. Zero. Unless you want to say that Roberto Dunn has an attractive wife. But I mean, for you to come on and say anything negative about any wife, girlfriend on YouTube, not going to be possible. And I'm going over and above, beyond gracious. The Christmas spirit has entered deep into my soul, because in that $10 range represents brutally big fingers. She's in there. For $10, she could be unblocked. But they all have to follow the same set of rules. Nobody can talk about anybody's wife or girlfriend. Recently, I heard somebody call me an effing scammer, an effing prophylactic bag of juice, prophylactic juice. You know, that kind of stuff. although it only shows the quality of his personality or her personality, it's not as egregious as talking about somebody's wife. Now, I should block some more people, and I will as the day goes on, I'm sure. But this is from my heart. I wanted to start the bidding to unblock a troll at $20, and I'm serious about that. But I said to myself, it's Christmas. Let me give them a nice discount and see if, because this is how you run a legitimate scam. But I have to put a time limit on it, and I haven't decided that yet. So let me go to my notes, and let me go to my commenters. This is the hat, the fedora. If I have this fedora on, I am absolutely telling you the truth. So everything I just said is true. That's true. That's the truth. And this one, this is my Monty Hall, let's make a deal. So I just was making a deal with you, but it's all true. The deal is true. So if you guys want to unblock the troll of your choice, those are the rules. So, and then I'm going to show you some football stadiums, and I'm going to show you some websites where Frankfurter sales, I think it was $2.25 billion in the stores last year, were decimated this year because of the lack of Frankfurter sales. This I only use Frankfurter because it's basically, from what I see, from what little I've seen of football games and baseball games, a Frankfurter is like, that's it. It's not the hamburger. It's the Frankfurter. You know, get your hot dogs here. Get your fresh hot dogs, roasted peanuts, that kind of crap. That much I remember. So I'll stick with what I know. And I will tell you one other thing about Frankfurters in the Philippines. Those red Frankfurters. Oh, God. Those things, I don't know what's in those things. I have no idea. I haven't eaten any in several weeks. I had bought some maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think I bought 4 of them. Just I wanted Frankfurters. And you can't buy a good Frankfurter in the Philippines. If you think you're going to go to the Frankfurter delicatessen, or the Frankfurter, the meat counter, and buy Oscar Mayer wieners, that ain't gonna happen. If you think you're gonna go buy Sabret Frankfurters, not in Tagbilaran, you're not. Maybe they have them in imported foods in Cebu, but you're not gonna get a decent Frankfurter here. So I tried them, and I felt like shit. I felt like you could feel the poison or whatever chemicals they put in the front. It actually made my body tingle. I probably won't eat another one of these red Frankfurters in the Philippines for a very long time. Anyway, let me get back to my comments. I don't know who's here. I'm going back up there now. Oh, the wordsmith is here. Salamat. Okay, wordsmithing. Sex Pat Hunter. Who is the vile person, Rain Man? Some people in California want to meet him in person. I don't know who he is. I know that he's a professional troll, and he on a show, and I don't remember what show it was, on a show, Sex Pat Hunter, probably 3 weeks ago, he said, Fazio, unblock me. Tell Fazio to unblock me. Well, I did not, and I had no intention of doing so. Then he went and made like 4 or 5 really shitty comments about me, none of which were true, none of which he could prove if he said they were true, and he just said it to be mean and malicious. That's why he's $50 to relieve him from the troll jail. That's why it's $50. But I haven't decided on how far or how long or how much I guess I would have to, based on what I said previously, not allowed to talk about somebody's girlfriend or their wife or their children. If you want to add to the commentary, add to the topic matter, probably Rain Man and the hemorrhoid, or the Reign of Man and the hemorrhoid, and that other guy would probably know everything there is to know about hot dogs and how they are, because that's probably what they eat. I don't know Rain Man, but he might. I don't think an intelligent, wealthy man would be on YouTube day after day, night and day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, leaving comments about other people's wives and children. I just don't think somebody with money or intelligent, one of the two. You could be stupid and have money, but not both. You're not gonna find intelligent, wealthy people on YouTube leaving troll comments. So I don't know who he is. Scott, nice white color, the white fedora. Salamat, Scott Del Fuego. I just made mention to Sweet Skate Vlogs that I spoke with Warren last night. He's okay. He's got a migraine, but he's okay. And he was playing. He's been, the last few days, him and his band have been laying down the tracks for a couple of Neil Young songs, and Warren is doing the harmonica on the song. And I listened to the song. If you go see the music that Warren posted on his channel yesterday, something about, I think it's a Neil Young song, and it's something about something, I don't remember the title, but I remember the title had the word needle in it. And I remember that song from the 70s. But at the 52-second timestamp, I was like the first or second person that listened to it. At the 52-second timestamp, there's an errant note. Doesn't belong there. So I made a comment with the question mark. I think there's an errant note at the 52-second mark. And all of those guys missed it, and I caught it, which was, I don't know anything about music. I don't know anything about guitar playing. I think maybe I have a minute and a half playing the guitar, but I could hear that note. It just went pling, and I'm going, how could you miss that? So that was us. So he's doing okay. I doubt very much he'll be on to say hello today. I could be wrong, but he had a migraine headache from, I guess that's a remnant of the radiotherapy that he had the few days before that. Scott, now that's a good point, Scott Del Fuego. That's a really good, and I forgot all about how much I watch football. I would have never remembered that had Scott not mentioned it. Scott Del Fuego says they started kneeling as much as football was part of my life since childhood. I don't watch. So, that I remember the Kilpatrick guy, or Neil Kilpatrick, or whatever his name was. And then I saw an article about him last week. Kilpatrick, I don't know his name, but when he was the one that made it famous to Neil, I read an article that he was a 4.0 graduate in business. So a lot of what he's doing is as part of where he's utilizing his business skills to get free publicity. I don't know if it's true. That's what I read. I don't know why I read it, but I read it. So that guy definitely. Again, I've never watched a football game, but again, I've heard that he was the one that started it from all the newspaper advertisement. But I did also read that he had a 4.0 in business major, so he did it for a reason. So let me show you, before I go to Sex Pat Hunter and answer that question again, let me show you one of the pictures I have up here. and I'll give you the link for this in a minute. This picture here, this is just part of my notes up here. Frankfurter sales 0. This picture here is a stadium, and I don't know what game this is. This stadium here, Ohio State versus Michigan State. That's this stadium here. So this picture here is a stadium of a game that took place yesterday, I think. Let me see what day it was. December 6, 2020. So that was yesterday. And here is the picture of the stadium blown up. So, how can we get this on here? Here's a picture of my screenshot of the stadium. And here's a picture of the stadium blown up. So, when you look at the stadium, all of the stands past like the 30-yard line, whatever that is, I'm not sure what that is, whatever it is. Well, it looks like 30-yard line. I don't know anything about football. But look, there's only, when you blow it up, there's only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of people, possibly 7. And only from like the 10-yard line to the 30-yard line. So I don't know how many, I'm not going to count people. That's there. Now, when you go to the back of the stadium there, it's behind the goalposts. There's about the same amount of people. And nothing in the upper stands. Nothing at all in the upper stands. Nothing. I mean, 0. And then if you go to the top part up here, I think this is called the mezzanine section, like at a horse track. I think that's what they call it. But whatever they call it, there's nobody in the booths up here and nobody in the stands at all. And that's where that was the Ohio-Michigan game that I had made notes of. And I'll give you the link for this picture. And it's a YouTube video. I'll put the link up now. I'll post it 3 times if you want to watch it. If you want to go see for yourself. Now, I got two other pictures of different stadiums I'll show you. And then you'll understand. Maybe I don't. Maybe they're all the same stadium. It's possible. Yeah. I guess I missed the other picture. But all the football games are all the same. There's nothing. And Sexpat Hunter, I know who you are. Well, I know what you are. I know you're a troll for sure. So be good. And if you mention any of those things that I told you the other people got blocked for, I'll block you. Scott will block you. We have no problem with that. Just be cool. All right? I know who you are. I know what channel you hang out on. I don't really care about that. Just keep it civil. Who is the vile person? Rain Man. Some people in California want to meet him in person. I don't know anything about that. I don't, being that he's blocked and being that I don't watch the channels that he hangs out on, I wouldn't know what the new rules, what the new deal is with that guy. I know he's a very sadistic, malicious little prick. That's what I know for sure. And that's why he's blocked. But for $50, I got the right hat on? No, the wrong. For $50, let's make a deal. But I got to tell you, the deal breaker is he talks about somebody's wife or girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend or anybody's children, Roberto's wife, anything like that. He has to be a contributor to the comment section. He's got to learn how to be human. Otherwise, I'll shit can him again and somebody lost $50. There is a lone man in the Philippines that stands for freedom, content, brilliant philosophy, and exploration of the unknown. Michael Fazio, this man. Thank you, Scott. If people are honest, they must admit this. They must admit his thoughts and content are superior and his humor is highbrow. I love Scott Del Fuego. I mean, Scott has it all. He has it all. And he's coming to the Philippines. And we're going to have some, actually with Scott Del Fuego, I would have a Heineken. I would drink a beer. But he is, Dennis, my personal friends, the stuff they send me in real life is the reason I continue to do live streams. I know you hear stories. Oh, the stories are the stories. Let me continue. If people are honest, they must admit his thought and content are superior and his humor highbrow, slapstick, sarcastic, and hysterical, depending upon his mood. As trolls chirp of their inadequacies, remember the value of he kindly provides. Remember the value he kindly provides. Thank you. This is one of the few Philippines channel that polices over the line and egregious talk about not just the host, but his enemies and trolls. That's true. I have I will have to admit it goes to several levels why I don't allow people to do that kind of crap on my channel. The primary reason is unless you can prove something that's true. This is the primary. I know what you hear about this, that, and the other thing. This guy's according to one crying in the wilderness, everybody is a liar. No one takes a bath. No one has money. Nobody deserves super chat. And that's his opinion. But none of that is true. That's why he's not allowed on my channel. Now, in all seriousness, I hold myself to the same standard. I do not, and I never have in 10 years ever had another channel that I posted under a false name. In fact, I don't post anything on anybody's channel, very rarely. Yesterday, I made a comment on Warren Hunt's channel about an errant note on a music video with a question mark, because I wasn't even, I think it shouldn't have belonged there. It turned out I was correct, but that might have been the first comment that I've made a month, 2 months. Now, there are other places I make comments on videos that most people that are on my channel would never go to. There was a comment about, there was a video about, what's it called? Rector Riches, I think it is. It's a channel. And he had a restore job. He wanted to build a Roadrunner. And when he bought the car, he realized that there was so much rust in it, it wasn't worth fixing. It was a green Roadrunner. Then apparently he's got a buku money. And then he has a whole crew of very, very professional men. And I complimented on their workshop and everything like that. But that none of you people are going to go there. And I went there because in the first few minutes, he talked about changing the Roadrunner back into classic, like pristine condition. And then he had to buy a white satellite, because the 1971 satellite, the 71 Roadrunner, and the 71 Plymouth GTX Mopar is all the same body. It's called a unibody, and I had one. So I remember my car, but my car was, I think this guy, I don't remember all of what was going on back then. I was in high school. I bought this 446 pack GTX. I bought it from a guy named John, who lived a few blocks away from me, but his mother-in-law lived one house behind me and one house over. And he had to sell it. Kathy, her name was. He had to sell it because he just had his first child. And he bought it new. And it only had like 7,000 or 8,000 miles on it. It wasn't the kind of car you drive to California. It only got, on a good day, 6 miles to the gallon. Because he had it set up from the factory. He bought it. It was called the GTX. It had a 3-speed slapstick transmission in it with a 9-inch torque converter, and 911 Dana rear and 911 Dana axles, and dual exhaust, J street tires, and the 6-pack was 6 Harley 500 carburetors. That's why they called it a 6-pack, because you could put a beer can. One beer can would fit inside the barrel of each carburetor. So when he had his first child, he had to sell it because he would race that car, just on what we had, cross bay strip. They would shut the strip down, just block it, and then we'd race. Not me, not until I bought the car. And I only did it a few times, and I didn't know how to operate the slapstick when I first bought it. I did it when I sold it, though. So I knew that car inside and out. I knew what kind of gut it should have. It should have mine had a black and white tweed cloth gut on the seat, high seat. It had the 3-speed slapstick. It had a nice glove box between the 2 front seats. And I knew the car. And this guy was building a car that was a Plymouth Roadrunner, and he's going to turn it into a GTX. But you can't do that because the registration, the VIN number of the car is going to tell you what that car was, and he was going to sell it at an auction. Now I didn't make note of that, but the VIN number tells you what kind of car it is. So then he said that he was going to put a 429 Hemi in there, and that's what came in the GTXs. I don't think that's the case. I didn't mention that either. I think the 429 Hemi came in the Roadrunner, and the 440 came in the GTX stock. Now, you could change it or you could add it, but it was an option. So I made a comment on that guy's channel that he did a nice rebuild, but it'll never be a GTX because the VIN number is going to say Plymouth Satellite, because they took the Satellite body, they took some parts from the Roadrunner where the Satellite body was rusted out, and then they bought a crate 429 Hemi and they put it in there. Well, it's a new motor. It's not an original car, so you can't sell it as an original car. But he put it up at the auction that it was a custom car, custom GTX, but it wasn't no GTX. So I made note that it'll never be a GTX because of the VIN number. And I'm right. And he sent me back a message saying, we understand that, thank you. But that's the last comment I remember leaving 5 weeks ago. So I don't leave troll comments on anybody's channel, ever. Some channels I've never left a comment on, ever, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. If I don't like you, I don't leave a comment on your channel. That the piece of the ladyboy lover in Manila, he's got probably a dozen troll accounts. The Hemorrhoid's got a dozen troll accounts. Maybe the Reign of Man has a dozen troll accounts because they're inadequate personalities. They're unaccomplished people. And for the most part, their lives are over in regards to any type of success that they could ever achieve. They never achieved it. If you listen, the rules of there are rules that can be broken. But as a standard understanding, if a man is going to be successful in life, it doesn't happen after the age of 50 unless he's had success and lost it all his life. But if an unsuccessful man, an unaccomplished man, in real life, these are statistical numbers that you could look. In real life, if a man or woman goes through their whole life, and at the age of 50, they have nothing, no real accomplishments, nothing they could say, I did this, I alone did this, I'm one of the 4 or 5 or 10 people in the whole world that did this, I achieved this, and only 10 other people. If they've never done that, I had a business with 10 people working for me or 20. If they've never done that at the age of 50, they've lost the incentive to do such is rare. You know, I don't know what the statistics would be. The statistics for the amount of people that have never achieved anything in their whole life, unless it's a fluke from a stock market or something like that. If they've never achieved anything in their real life, they're probably never going to achieve anything. And I think that the hemorrhoid definitely falls into that category. The ladyboy lover in Manila, if there was a super underachiever in many ways, he would be at the top of the list of the bloggers, well, in the Philippines, who has a successful channel. Let's say he would be at the top of the list of the underachievers who has a successful channel, because I have a hunch that not only does he run a channel on YouTube, but I have a hunch that he runs other websites. And I'm not talking about Christian Filipino. I'm talking about other kinds of websites. And I believe those are the people that go to his channel. And people like those people. Now, there's another piece of garbage that follows the ladyboy lover in Manila. I don't know that I have him blocked or not, but if he is blocked, because I don't remember, he'll never get unblocked. So most of the people that follow the ladyboy lover in Manila they're not optional. I just couldn't think of everybody, but there are a lot of people, and the reason is the ladyboy lover in Manila, he's either pitching or he's catching. My guess would be catching more than pitching. And the other guy with a really successful channel in the Philippines that's always on his channel, got to be more of a connection than what meets the eye. I can't say it for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's true. So I'll leave those up to your imagination. Now, Scott. Back to Scott. King Bob, hello. Welcome. Thank you. My day's going well. Scott, I'm really not going to spend a lot of time with people. I keep saying this, and I read your comment. I'm not going to spend a lot of time unless you're a member of my Patreon account, or I know you personally, or you contribute to Super Chat. That's how it works on most channels. They don't even read your comment unless you Super Chat them. Like Jimmy Dore, you think Jimmy Dore is going to read your comment, or many of the bigger bloggers? They don't care what you have to say. I do, but I just don't have the time. And I don't need every live stream to drag out to be 4 hours, because I read every comment. So from now on, if I don't know directly who you are, or you don't have something really intelligent or to add to the conversation, I just don't have time. King Bob of H-Town, I'm doing well, thank you. Demand for wieners is way down in the U.S. Good demand still on certain channels. That's true. There are a lot of channels that, well, I was just talking about the ladyboy lover in Manila, for instance. I believe that he's a very, very, very big, very, very prone to I bet you he loves wieners. That's all I'll say about that. And based on his vlogging, I would say that he might be the king of wiener consumption on YouTube. That's out in the open, in the closet, as a ladyboy lover channel. I don't know if there's a bigger one. I don't know about it. I don't follow those channels, but I do know there's a group of about 5 people now that are all up each other's butt skis, and I believe they all want to play baseball with each other. Some want to pitch, some want to catch, some want to switch hit. But there is a definite. Let me tell you a little story, just to let you know what I'm talking about, in case you haven't figured it out. I don't remember the guy's name. I read a book. What was the name of that book? The name of the book was Hitler's Pope. Hitler's Pope. And basically, that book was, I think it was about Pope Pius the 11th and how he cut a deal with Adolf Hitler. And also, he made a hit between Pope Pius XI. They called him Hitler's Pope, but I'm not sure if it was Pius. I read the book a couple of times. I even have the book outside somewhere, but it was one of the few books I didn't throw out. And the Vatican, through Pope Pius XI, I think it was Pius XI, made a deal with Hitler. And then the book went on to talk about all the inside scandals that the church committed with Hitler. And then it had interviews with Hitler's hierarchy. I don't know what they're called. Generals, confidants. I have no idea. And one of these guys, and I don't remember the guy's name either, one of these guys was talking about that even back in Germany, there was the idea that Hitler was totally against gays, which apparently the news, the public news, says that's the case. But this one general in this book said that was not necessarily the case. There were many people on Hitler's staff that were supposed to have been gay. And the way he explained it was that it was like an unspoken truth. But part of the book that I remember is somehow he was talking about the parties that were attended by what they call the famous people, pomp and glory, or pompous people. I don't know what the word is, but the hierarchy of the society. He said somehow you could go to one of these hierarchical societies, which was infested, he said this, which was infested with a gay and lesbian population, and you would not know who they were. And this was in the book. But he said, if you understood how they operated, and you were a gay man or a gay woman, in an hour, you would know who every gay and lesbian woman in the entire galah or party was. So somehow they have this secret codices between them. Now, I know that we went from Frankfurters and the Ladyboy Lover in Manila and his followers. And that's what I think is going on. I think that there is some sort of hierarchy, or not hierarchy, but not a conspiracy, but a group of men that appear to be men, that talk like men, that look like men, but are not so much like real men. Well, not that they're not real men, but I mean lesser men, or men that go both ways. And that's okay if they want to do that. But that's where, when you get a guy who has no reason at all to be friends with the Ladyboy Lover, and he's there every day, got to be something else. I mean, if the Ladyboy Lover only talks about gay and lesbian shows and interviews prostitutes and red light districts, I've never even been in one of those places. I have no desire to be, but he does that every day. Now you get a guy that, whatever his job description is, he goes there every day. You see them commenting. Now, I wouldn't know every day for a year and a half. I have not watched 1 second of his show intentionally in a year and a half, 2 years, since he pulled that shit with telling people I was dead and calling up my landlord and shit like that. But I do remember what he did. And then I do watch other shows where there's same group of people. The Ladyboy Lover, the other guy in Angeles City, the other guy in Angeles City, the other guy over there. They're all, hey, how you doing? What's up? Got to be something more to it than that. And I think it all revolves around the love of wieners, as Scott said. Moving on. Vienna beef hot dogs, the soul of Chicago dog dragged through the garden. Oh my God, sounds. That's the schnitzel dog you're talking about. One of those little schnitzel dogs, the long ones with the short legs. You know, I saw one of those guys I was talking about, one of those baseball wannabe switch hitters. I think he has a schnitzel dog, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. I see a lot of stuff that I try to forget, but hello to petite and lovely sweet skate. Thank you. Colin Kaepernick, that was the guy. Thank you, King Bob. Dennis, did you get my message this morning, Dennis? I think that, I am being serious. I think if you program that the right way, and I don't care, new, old tools, rusty tools, you could throw a couple of shiny tools in there. I think if you laid that out correctly in front of your fireplace, your coal stove, just put a couple of things on top and a couple of things. I think that would be, I think something silly like that could go viral, especially being that you're already YouTube's #1 coal burning channel. I think. I mean, I've not seen anybody with more coal stove videos than you. I'm being a little something Christmassy. Might even want to throw not a nativity, but something Christmassy. It doesn't have to be a church scene, or it doesn't have to be just something Christmas, a little Christmas, like a little silver Christmas tree. I don't know. Okay, so Scott and Dennis know about these Chicago hot dogs. So let's go back. A Vienna beef hot dog, the soul of Chicago dog dragged through the garden. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. Am I correct? A Chicago hot dog is made with mustard, onions, and relish. Dennis, the answer to Dennis. Dennis, a true Chicago dog is Vienna beef dog on a poppy seed steamed bun, yellow mustard, green relish, tomato, pickle, spear on the side, and sport peppers. A creation proving God loves us. Actually, that sounds good. I like hot dogs. That's why I tried one of those brown dogs, those red hot dogs in the Philippines. Aside from, I ate probably all 4 in one day. Not in one sitting, but in one day. And not only did it make me feel like crap, you could feel the chemicals. The skin tingled. When you relieved yourself, it was red. That red dye #9, I think it is. I'll never eat another one of it. I don't think I will. Yum, says Dennis. Half of the wheel Nirvana. Half of the 4-wheel Nirvana. So in other words, in order to reach Nirvana or the Samadhi or the Christ consciousness, you need to have a Vienna, what was the name of that? Vienna beef dog on a poppy seed. Fun. I forgot all about poppy seed. You don't see poppy seed buns in the Philippines. I don't remember seeing those. I bought what I did try again, what did I buy those rolls for the other day? Oh, I went, when I went shopping last week, I bought cheese, and and I wanted to. I will not buy a loaf of bread, just too much. I only have a few slices or a few rolls a week, so normally I'll buy a roll at a bakery. But this day, I looked for rolls in the store, and I looked for rolls, and they had one roll. It was round, about that big, and that thick. It was okay taste wise, but that was the only rolls. They had no Frankfurter rolls, no hamburger rolls, no hero, like, Italian bread rolls. There's a place called the Bread Basket in the ICM Mall, and I am not kidding. Okay, it's been like this since day one. They believe that they should leave Italian bread in the oven until it gets a crust about 1/8 of an inch thick that snaps like cold Turkish taffy, and the inside is basically uncooked. They believe that's the way they make Italian bread. It's been like that, and it tastes like crap. It doesn't taste. It looks like Italian bread. In fact, that even does have seeds on it. So that's the only place in Tagbilaran at the ICM Mall that you could buy a loaf of Italian bread. And if you took that bread and hit it on a piece of wood, it would sound like two pieces of wood smacking each other. The bread here it's not good at all here, the bread here. Scott had a man swig. I think I'll have a man swig to that man swig. A man swig is 4 gulps. Try to make 7 bubbles out of each gulp. Real men, this is the way real men drink their water. And I want to ask people, before I take a man slug, has anybody noticed that other people are using my catchphrases like real men, don't do this, real men, real men? Has anybody noticed that catchphrase took off and that a lot of people are using it? You could just say the word yes if you agree with that, because that was a girly sip. Right, we got to go. Ready? 4 slugs are 7 bubbles each. Isn't that quaint? How I was thinking about somebody using my catchphrase, and I took a girly sip. Wow, it's like God talking to you. Seven bubbles is a proper sip. 1 gulp is 7 bubbles. Man sipping. 4 man sips is how real men drink their water. Okay, so last live stream I started talking about Ronnie Carl. So Ronnie Carl was a guy I grew up with. You had to know Ronnie. You just had to know him. I met his dad a few times. His dad was a really bad. Well, this was normal back, in the 50s and 60s for a family, a German or Irish or Italian in the neighborhood I grew up, to drink a lot. Drinking was a national pastime in America in the 50s and 60s. Everybody drank. I think, but Ronnie grew up in a household where there was probably a little bit too much drinking going on. So in kindergarten, I have pictures of Ronnie and Leanne and Carl Vella in our 4th and 5th grade class, all in line with each other at the auditorium. But Ronnie, I went to kindergarten with, and he was a funny dude. Him and Bobby Nutter. He lived across the street from PS 146, Bobby Nutter, Harold Crosby, another crazy guy. We were all friends. Drew out the Bean, Rudy Santacor, Anthony Godino. And Ronnie had, I don't know if it was the first or the second, but he put, at some point in the early 60s, taps, T-A-P-S, metal taps. People were putting them on the back of their shoes and the front of their shoes too, because everybody was doing like a Sammy Davis tap dancing. Well, Ronnie could tap dance. He could actually tap dance, but he put taps all the way across the back of his shoes. And we had those vinyl floors in the school. That boy could slide 30 or 40 feet on his taps. I'll never forget that. But when we grew up, he started collecting Ford Falcons, Ford. It was one type of Ford. I'm pretty sure it was a Ford Falcon. And whether it was a Ford Falcon station wagon or a Ford Falcon, he had a whole yard of them. Like, we're talking like 8 or 9 of those cars. And he would just, when that was his job, he went out and worked on the car, found an old one, got parts off of one, fixed another one, and he'd do the body work and paint it and everything. That was what he did for a living. But when Hurricane Sandy came, he lost all those cars. And I saw him when I went back to New York in 2016. I went to New York, and I said, "Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?" And he looked at me like this. And it was like the afternoon, and he was in a van. And somebody just said, "Mike, he doesn't know who you are." And I'm going, how could he not know who I am? We've been friends since we're like 5 years old. He goes, he doesn't know who anybody is. And he drank himself into oblivion. But he was the guy that you would want to buy a car from. So if we could resurrect, I don't know if he's still alive, but he was some mechanic. And he used to do roofing. Him and I used to do roofing and siding jobs. I would get the job, we would work together, but nobody could lay roof like Ronnie. The tab roofing, I don't know if anybody out there did tab roofing. So you buy, it comes in a bundle about this thick, and they're 3 foot wide, 3 tabs. He could put the tar paper down on, say, a 20-degree incline roof with no roof jacks, no roof, nothing, no batter boards for the roof. He put the tar paper down with a hammer stapler, T50 hammer stapler, tack it down real quick, and he'd get his first row on. He'd set it up with a string. I'd be on one side, he'd be on the other. We'd get our string set up for the roof. We double up the bottom. One goes upside down. Well, they go opposite each other, not upside down. One goes here where the notches are here, and the other one half notches over that one. Some guys turn the first one upside down. I like to turn the first one right side up, but some guys turn it upside down. So he could do, and I'm not exaggerating, easy 3 nails to a tab, not 4. 8 squares, 9 squares, or 10 squares a day, depending on how much he drank the night before. I've seen him do 13 squares in one day with me feeding him shingles. And that would be, but 3 nails. So if you're a roofer or Jack Thompson, you know what I just said. We're missing 1 nail out of each tab. And if you're a roofer, you would understand. I also know what I'm talking about. And that roof is just fine. It always works out. We did my mother's house. We did 18 squares. Him and I did 18 squares with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 peaks, 7 breaks, or 4 peaks, 8 breaks, 4 peaks, 8 breaks, because one went around, and around 1 brick chimney and 2 roofs that were peaked roofs, but lower, 2 feet lower than one was 2 feet lower, one was 8 feet lower. We did 18 squares in 3 days, just him and I. I carried it up and set him up with the strings and stuff, and he nailed 18 squares. And I paid him $60 per square, because if you paid him by the day, at that time a roofer would get $100 a day. He might do 5 squares. And so then you're going to be there for 4 days. You're going to pay him $400. And you got to be there for 4 days. And you got to set everything up for 4 days. But if you paid him $60 a square, he'd do the same job and it'd be done in 2 days, 3 days. That was a hard job. On that job, we put 5/8 tarboard down underneath, on top of the old roof. So I forgot about that. That took a whole day and a half by itself. But we put it down for insulation. So if it were 18 squares and you paid him $50 a square, that'd be $900, and 180, that'd be $1,080 he made in 3 days. But he would dog that job forever if you paid him by the day. It's going to cost you more to pay him by the day. Anyway, Ronnie had some costs. Dennis, you missed out by about 7 years. You had a 62 Ford Falcon. You screwed up. Michael, sweet car, says Scott Del Fuego to Dennis Adam. Run a big block and a stout rear end, and they can launch. Look super cool also. Yeah, Ronnie would do a few cars like that. Michael, says Scott Del Fuego, Michael not only has his revealed Masons, NWO, and secrets of the dollar bill, but now has unveiled the cult of the Wiener worship. Whoa. Baseball and Philippines bloggers hate channel. I'm not kidding about that. I mean, most people know what I'm talking about. Now, if the Reign of Man and that other worthless blogger, CEBU of Bossmen, if they knew how to talk in riddles, but they have to blurt out bullshit. So they're never going to be coming back on. And I don't care. This is just a new scandal. I have to run. Listen, if you can't run the possibility of a new scam every day, how are you going to earn money on YouTube? If you can't scam, if you're broke and you don't have a job and you have no money for food and you're begging all day, every day, the same rhetoric, every day, begging, every fucking day, scamming, crying himself to sleep at night, drinking himself to sleep at night, every day, every night, scamming everybody. If you're doing all of that, you're not going to earn money. I grew up in a time where men were men. And we earned money the old-fashioned way. We scammed you for it. We run a legitimate scam here on Hoodwinked by an Angel. There's nothing. I don't have the proper hat on. Let me tell you the truth. When it comes to scams, we here at Hoodwinked by an Angel, we run a legitimate scam. Okay, Dennis. Sweet. Dennis Adams says, I've seen that, Michael. Said to my wife, get some Christmas lights. There you go. Anything. Yeah, that I didn't, anything for the holiday spirit. Who knows? You could do it. You could run it. I mean, there's only 174 more days till spring, but you could run a different theme in front of the coal stove every day. Good idea. I will have to coal fire Christmas on one of your big screens for the holidays. I think that's a fantastic idea. I hope you do it, and I hope YouTube sees that you did it, and that they can make you go viral. Something crazy silly like that could be a million views in a month. Sweet Cakes is still here, thank you. Shoe cleats. Yes, I remember those. Yeah, he had the ones that went all the way around the back. Yeah, like a tap dancer would have. Whatever happened to that laptop? I remember you had an old laptop that broke. What did you ever do with that one, Scott? Not that I want it, because I'm getting a brand new Asus computer soon as the commerce. Did you hear? Huh? Did you hear that guy lost his mind? He lost his mind. Now there's a super blogger on YouTube that is now in control of your TV set. And now, according to his destination, mentally, you have to buy this and not that. You can't buy that. You have to buy this. And what your needs are, this will do, when in fact, they make different levels of RAM and different levels of memory and different levels of hard drives and different qualities of computers in the Philippines. But there's one crying in the wilderness that demanded that I give all my computer money back to the subscribers and the donators. I heard that. I'm going, well, why would I do that? How would I buy an Asus i9 computer if I gave it back? I wouldn't be able to buy the computer that they gave me the money to buy. They don't want the money back. They want me to buy an Asus i9 and put it on I'll show it to you one day. When I get it, I'll show it to you. They don't want their money back. If they wanted their money back, they would have said something by now. See, and I will even go one step further. I told anybody that wants to see the money in the bank, Skype me. Whoever you are, if you can prove who you are, how much money you gave, there's a record of it. Just send me a request and I'll show you the money. Why would I spend your money on something other than an Asus i9 computer? If Warren were here, Warren could tell you that he saw the money, where it is and how it's arranged. I would have no problem showing it to Scott, and he could confirm it, or Dennis, or John Escape, or any of these guys. But I mean, you people out there that are demanding that I show paperwork for this, that, and the other thing, who the fuck do you think you are, actually? Who do you think you are to be able to demand anything from anybody on YouTube? Are you my mother? Do you pay my mortgage? Do you pay my rent? Do you pay for my electric bill? I mean, who are you really when you demand that people do something because you did it? Nobody gives a fuck what you do in real life. Nobody gives a fuck what you think in real life. You're entitled to your own thoughts, but nobody gives a fuck. You do not go on YouTube and tell people everybody has to buy a computer like this or like that. You don't do that. You have no right. You have no authority to tell other people what they have to buy because this is what you think. You have no right to tell me I have to give people back the money that they gave me for a computer. The money is safe and sound, I assure you. I owned $1.2 million house in Key Largo. I owned an Ocean Racer with twin 454 Mercs, big block Mercs, 360 horse naturally aspirated. I owned a brand new Cobra Mustang from the factory. I owned a 188-ton barge with a 35-ton crane on it. I had a 25-ton land crane. I had 2 workboats. I had a pile driving unit on the barge. I had 3 different trenching machines. I had a drill rig. I had a bobcat trailer, a backhoe trailer, and a dump truck that would pull anything that I owned. And now my next big purchase from my hotel is going to be the smallest toy that I ever bought new, a $23,000 cement mixer. That's my plan. If my plan doesn't work out, well, then you know what? I'll have to buy a $7,000 cement mixer. But either way, typically when I set my mind to do something, I do it. So when I hear the stories on YouTube, you gotta do this because I did that. I don't. And you have no authority to tell anybody what to do anywhere on YouTube. It's not your place to tell other people what to do on YouTube. It's just not your place. It never was. Where do you come to the conclusion that you should have the authority to tell me to give back the money for the computer? Do you think I would take somebody else's money? What did I spend the money on exactly? What did I spend the money on? Did I buy a tricycle? No. Did I buy a motorcycle? No. Do I want one of those? No, because if I wanted one of those, I would own one. I don't want a car, a tricycle, or a motorcycle. I would prefer to buy a jet ski. That's at the end of the line, the jet ski. If I wanted a jet ski, though, I think I could afford a jet ski, not a $40,000. But who are you to say I should not own this or that? Why? Why do you do that? What gives you the authority to tell other people on other channels that have nothing at all to do with you? What gives you the authority to tell people, don't give money to Big Kevin? He didn't spend the money. It's not my business, not your business. It's nobody's business. And here's the way it works, in case you haven't figured it out. If people give money, and don't twist this up in your twisted reality of unreality. If people give $5,000 to Big Kevin, and he's going to supposedly spend it to come to the Philippines, and he doesn't, it's his money. He can do what he wants with it. He changed his mind. Something else became a priority. His health became a priority. But it's his money. If it was designated for something and he didn't spend it on what he said he was going to spend it on, if that's the case, you can't make him give it back. You can only not give him money again. But to go around every single person on YouTube is a scammer! A scammer! He's a thief! He's a fucking... Not every person is like that. Maybe what you are thinking about is some possible inequalities that you possess that supersede your ability to compensate for your lack and basically, in fact, underachieving lifestyle. Maybe this is the only way that you can accommodate your insecurities. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but you have no authority to tell Big Kevin what to do with his money. None. Zero. That's a fact. If someone wants to give money to Big Kevin, they give it to him. 90% of the people that give Big Kevin money know that it might not be used for what it was intended for. They don't care. So going back to Scott's comment, I hate trying to comment on participants and participate on this piece of shit tablet. Glad my laptop is supposed to arrive on Monday. I prefer my laptop as well as Scott as well. Dennis prefers his laptop as well. I did a few roofs with tab shingles. I did too many. I actually did quite a few of those. It was big money, quick money, easy money, as long as you had Ronnie Carl working for you. I remember we did Choo Choo Louie's house. This was before I did my mom's house. And that was that $60 a square was including putting down the 5/8 waterproof tarboard. So that's why he got much. But we did Choo Choo Louie's house. And he was putting down one tab at a time. I'm going, Ronnie, man, I only charged like Choo Choo Louie, like it was 7 squares. It was $100 a square. I was going to lose money at that rate. He goes, give me $150 and we'll have it done today. I said, okay. I give him $150. And I says, you finish it today, I'll give you $150. That boy, this is going back into 1973. That was a lot of money for the day. I thought, I'll give you $150. And by 4 o'clock, we had my station wagon packed up and we were gone. Scott said, I got this one 2 years ago. I got this one 2 years ago. Been great. Been repaired 4 times. Great when working, but a pain to... Of course, the time it takes to bring those things back and forth is just phenomenal. Having a couple of fingers of Basil Hayden on the rocks. A drink is okay for me in moderation. Considering what you do, a drink is probably well deserved. And where you do it, that's another thing altogether. I heard about that. I did a little reading about that a few years ago, the phenol thing. Now, I remember when phenol first came out on the market. If I'm right about that drug, it's so powerful. I think I could be wrong, but I think it was 1,000 times more powerful than heroin. And it was readily available, but the problem was they couldn't mix it consistently. So if it didn't mix consistently and you got a piece of pure fentanyl in whatever you bought, you would OD in like a few seconds. That's what I remember. I remember the stuff was not so expensive, but they couldn't mix it. Like, in other words, if it wasn't a perfectly blended mix with 1,000 parts of whatever they use and then 1 part fentanyl, however the mix is, if the fentanyl didn't mix up properly in the 1,000 parts, it was killing people left and right. Even I guess 10, 15 years ago, I remember reading about that. Right. That's the stuff then. It's crazy. The amount picked up on a pinhead is a fatal dose. Yeah, that's what I remember. It wasn't expensive to even buy it. The problem was you couldn't cut it. That's what the problem was. I never had that problem. I never saw I never saw heroin. If I saw it, it must have been inside the suitcase, because I never saw the actual drug called heroin. I never looked at a bag of powder of shit like that. I never saw the fentanyl. I never saw that. I never saw anybody put a needle in their arm, but I saw people that were high on heroin when I was a kid, but I never saw anybody shoot up except in a movie. And I never had any wish, want, will, or desire for that. But I grew up probably 3 years younger than the people that were hooked on heroin. I saw a lot of heroin addicts when I was a kid. I knew, my friends' older brothers were all heroin addicts. So if I had a friend that I went to school with, and they had a brother that was 2 or 3 years older, they were all heroin addicts, every one of them. I don't know anybody that I grew up with. Let's just say Matthew, his brother Lurch, his name was, he was a heroin addict. Albert Johnson, his brother was a heroin addict. Turby, his brother was a heroin addict. Anna, her brother was. They were all my close childhood friends, people I went to school with. So drugs were a big thing, but I never saw them when I was a kid. Scott says, I am correct. Part of why when an inconsistent bat Scott says, you are correct. Part of why is when an inconsistent batch hits the junkies drop like flies. Had a batch kill 8 or 10 on 2 blocks a while back. Yeah, that's what I remember. I have a good memory for some things. For most things that odd. I don't know what so let's get back to wieners. We went off on pitch hitters, switch hitters, closets. We talked about most of those guys up in that hang out with the Ladyboy Lover in Manila on his channel. I think that they live in a closet. I am serious about that. Believe what you want, but it seems to be true. So let me go to my channel dashboard, which I don't need open anymore. I'm going to start going through the tabs about the wieners and the hot dogs and the loss. Trump, a lot of people, I've been getting a lot of thumbs down, which I don't care about. Trump is behind all of this. I don't care that the Congress, the Senate, this is how they lie to you people. The CARES Act, where $5 trillion was given to the 10,000 richest companies and people on Earth, or the flat Earth. And the Earth is flat. I don't understand why you people don't get it. I explained this to you yesterday. I explained a little piece of how the Earth is flat and why. I discussed that the probability of gravity probably doesn't really exist, gravity. It probably has more to do with density than gravity. Because if gravity actually existed, and this is part and parcel of learning about the truth that was known before 500 years ago, all through history, up until 500 years ago, when the Vatican was invaded by the Knights, not the Knights of Columbus, not the Knights Templars, the Jesuits. When the Vatican got taken over by the Jesuits and became part and parcel of the Rothschild monetary system, which goes back to right around the beginning of the time that America was formed, everybody believed the Earth was flat. Everybody. They tortured people in the church if you said the Earth was round. They put you on racks. They disemboweled you. The Catholic Church, the Vatican, because it went against God's word in the Bible. The Bible says the earth is flat, set upon 4 pillars. Now, I'm not going to get into the Bible aspect of it, but every philosophy before 1500, every single one of them going back 50,000 years, Atlantis, Lemuel, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Mestizos, all the Indians, the American, they all know the earth was flat, not spinning ball. They all know that water seeks its own level. In fact, you people are so stupid, and I really mean stupid, that there probably isn't 2 people in the entire of all of my 20,000 subscribers that knows how they came to make a meter the standard measurement throughout history, and then how far back that standard measurement was confirmed, and how it was confirmed, and with what it was confirmed. Probably, and that would be 2 people, would be probably a lot. And this isn't part of the flat earth. This is just part of history. You use the meter in Asia every day, and no one knows why the meter is a constant. How did it become a constant? What is a royal finger? You have no idea. Nobody could just come right up on the board when I said that and put it on the board, because you people don't know anything about history. You don't know anything about pre-Egyptian history even. You have no understanding of so many things. I try to explain this stuff to you, but you people, it falls on deaf ears. I can tell you how the meter was created and why and who did it, but why would I do that? Somebody, he's just full of shit. He read it in a book. I've known it for years. I'm an A&P jet mechanic. We learned this stuff in high school. You are correct. All right, so Scott says the Oscar Wiener Maya Mobile would look great driving through the Philippines. Now I could tell you a story about that, and I'm going to find the picture. I actually was in the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile. I actually was driven around in the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile. Now, he's done everything. He's a pilot. He's an astronaut. He can skate. He brings dolls. He brings dolls under the water. He takes dolls diving. And add to the list, I was in the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile, and I have pictures of it. Because when I lived in San Diego in 1980, my friend Tom, the electrician, and I were doing, I don't know what we were doing. We might have been messing around. I think it was Temecula, California. It's the site of the oldest shrub oak in the world. It's approximately 2,000 years plus old. It's the oldest shrub oak, and a shrub oak it might be 100 trees. It's the biggest shrub oak in the whole world also, because the roots are connected. So all the trees are considered one unit. Temecula, California. And when I used to fly out of Temecula with Burl, B-E-R-L, Burl Stallworthy, but we called him Burl Stall Speed, and he was Tom's friend. And they were friends. Tom was an electrician, and Burl was a contractor, but he was also a pilot. And he would take us to Palm Springs or Las Vegas. This is going back to when I was 1970. I was 15 years old. But I remained friends with Burl until I went back there in 93. I saw Burl, but he died by 2008. one, Tom had come to my house in Florida and told me Burl died a few years before that. But anyway, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile originated in California. And one person, I don't know who it was, but one person where we worked or we went to Tom's friend's house owned the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And I got a ride in it, and I got pictures of it. So he did everything. He's an astronaut too. And Mr. Obama, come over here. You want to go swimming? No! He plays with dolls. Real men don't play with dolls. He plays with dolls. Real men play with dolls, dude. Real men do what they want. Real men don't listen to what you want them to do, unless it's something intelligent. And so far, that part of the conversation has never occurred. He plays with dolls. I thought he'd never stop playing with all the dolls he has. And when he takes his dolls, he goes diving with his dolls. He takes his dolls to the beach. And when I start building the hotel, Obama and Digger, they're going to be on the cement mixer, helping me mix cement. They'll be in the piles of stores or bank materials. These two guys, these two little fellas, they're going to help me build the hotel. It's going to be fun. The only person that's not going to be having fun is the one who doesn't get the joke. He plays with dolls. He's an astronaut too. He has to do what I say. He has to give back the money. He has to give back. Why? They gave me the money to buy a computer. I'm going to buy a computer with the money. You got anything to say? Oh, I can't wait to start building. What are you going to do, Digger? I'm going to mix the cement. And Obama, I'm going to do something. Mr. Obama, what are you going to be up to? Oh, you say up to. That reminds me of Steve Montelli. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Go over there on your shelf. Oh, Digger, the reason why Digger wants to mix the cement, because he's already set up. He's set up to be a cement mixer. He's got the spoon, and he's a working doll. He's a working man. I got Digger. I got him from the bottom of the top of the bottom of the flat Earth. About it's going on a year now. Digger's birthday's coming up, and he goes everywhere with me. Not everywhere. I don't take him everywhere. I don't take him to the bathroom, which isn't really far away from here, but I don't take him there. But I bring him to the city on occasion. I bring him to the park. I bring him to the beach. I have a few videos that I haven't posted. But I plan on doing a lot more videos with Digger once the hotel starts. I think, Digger, what do you think? I'm going to be there with you, Fazio. And what are you going to do? I'll be digging. Why? It's what I was made to do. I'm a digger doll. Digger two, digger two, digger two, digger two, digger two. All right, Digger. So you want to say anything? Yeah. He's got, those are his anti-gravity boots. He said, whoa, this is fun. Listen. Whoa, look at my shoes. Those are really anti-gravity boots. Digger's going to be building with me. I'm going to be building with Digger. I might even let Digger do a few repairs. He's always out there watching. I put him out there to make sure. Watching. I actually had a ride in the Oscar Mayer Arena truck. It's really not, it wasn't really a big deal because it was right there wherever we went. When we went to that place, it was there every day. And I thought it was cool, but I would, it would have made if I could find that, I know I have that picture somewhere in a drive. That's one of the reasons I want the Asus i9, because I have, I converted about 4,700 pictures that I took from the time I was like, I don't know, whatever, when you first start taking pictures, 11 or 12, I guess I was. Then I also have pictures from my childhood, and I had them in pictures, like the old photo pictures. And I took those 4,700 pictures that I had since I was a baby, whatever they were, and I sorted them out. It took months to do this. And I sorted them out by year or by month or by topic matter, by high school maybe. Some were boat pictures. And I took all 4,700 of those pictures and I put them in order. If I had the negative for the picture, then I put the negative in the envelope or in the folder with the picture. If I didn't, then I put the picture in the folder without the negative. And then I brought all 4,700 of those pictures to a CVS pharmacy by my house in Key Largo at mile marker 100. There's one right on the right where Ocean Bay Drive meets US 1. There's a CVS pharmacy. And the woman there, Carol, she said, well, we'll do this. And it was cheap. It was, considering you're going to get a picture out of it, we'll do it. But you're going to have to bring them in and not expect them back. Could be a day, 2 days, or 3 days. If there's no other work, we'll do yours right away. And if there's other work, it could be a week. So I said, it's no problem. I have 2 years before I move to the Philippines. So I got it all done. And now I have those all digital. And I could show them to you. Some of them I have on my computer. I got to get to my topic matter, though, today. If Michael Fazio, says Scott Del Fuego, if Michael Fazio's knowledge was appreciated and absorbed by you people, your intelligence and life skills would increase at an amazing pace. Why do you people refuse to open your minds and consider? Because they're basically stupid people. That's what stupid people do. They block out the truth. I may make a joke out of something, but it might be truthful. When I am not an astronaut, but to hear somebody make an exaggeration is ridiculous. It's just beyond absurd. Man looks like a fool, in my opinion. So it's not realistic to lie about me when you can't prove a word of it. It's not realistic to call me a liar. It's not realistic to call me a scumbag. It's not realistic to call me crazy. It's not realistic to do a lot of stuff that some people do. It's not very realistic. And if someone did that to some other well-known bloggers on you, they would lose their fucking mind. Oh, wait, they already did that. That's why they're coming down on me and Big Kevin and Roberto and now Pissport. But now Pissport, on the other hand, Pisspot, whatever his name is, he's legitimate. He legitimately deserves to be. He's a mean person. He's a mean, evil person. He's a bad boy. He's a very bad boy. Those of you who don't know who Pisspot TV is, my God, if you go to this guy's channel, you're going to say, oh my God. Holy, how could he hate somebody so much? How could he project so much hate out there in the universe? How could he do that? Pisspot TV, how could he be so effing hateful? What is really happening is Pisspot. He's building up bad karma, Piss Pot TV. Bad! If such a thing was real, Piss Pot would have a couple of wheelbarrows full of bad karma from just his last 2 videos. These are the most mean, malicious, hateful, spiteful, vengeful, critical, scumbaggery videos on YouTube. I got to tell you, plus the guy made an agreement with me to bring me a salami and cheese, 5-pound block of salami and cheese, about 2 years ago, just about 2 years ago. 5 pounds of salami, 5 pounds of cheese, and a thing made out of ball bearings that goes like this. And I went and got an appointment with him for one of the world's most famous people, which is not easy to do. I sit down and have dinner with the man whenever the opportunity arises. But Piss Pot, he doesn't meet people on, just randomly. Doesn't do that. He's a very famous man, very well-liked man, but some famous people like to remain private. And I got Piss Pot a personal interview with him. Actually, there could have even been more than a personal interview. Could have been allowed to participate in some private seminars. And Piss Pot never gave me back an answer. When is he coming to the Philippines? So what I've been doing for the last 2 years is I've been kind about this. I figured I spent about 12 hours altogether traveling back and forth, walking back and forth, talking to the guy, assuring the guy that passport was okay. And after all of that shit, 12 hours, at $50 an hour, that's what I based my time on. That's reasonable for my time. So that should be $600. So I reduced it to $300. And I was going to pay for the salami and cheese, but now that deal is off the table. The deal is come and gone. Now I want, with accrued interest on the salami, that's 4 salamis. Accrued interest on the cheese, 4 5-pound blocks of cheese, 4 5-pound blocks of salami, 4 of each. The thing with the ball bearings that goes like this, and I want $440. Only because it sounds good with 4 blocks of salami, 4 blocks of cheese, $440. Next month, it'll be 5 blocks of salami, 5 blocks of cheese, 5 5-pound blocks of salami, 5 5-pound blocks of cheese, and $550. And the thing with the ball bearings that goes like this. I want all of that stuff from Piss Pot Passport. I want all of that from him, but I want more. And I can, before it gets out of hand, there is a way for me to go back and reinstitute the initial meeting of one of the world's most famous TV people and Piss Pot TV, Piss Pot TV. There is a way to go back and reinitiate that. I mean, I could probably get that sorted out for $10,000. $10,000. But if Passpot sends me $10,000, I'm going to waive the 5 blocks of cheese, the 4 blocks of cheese, and the 4 blocks of salami. I'm going to waive that. We're just going to make it simple. He could just send me the money, cash, $10,000, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I'll look at the machine, the cement mixer that I want to buy. That money will go to the cement mixer, and you will not be able to miss Piss Pot's name on the cement mixer. It'll say Piss Pot TV right across the whole back of the cement mixer, or Passport, whatever he wants to use. I don't care. For 10 grand, you could have the whole back of the cement mixer. I'll even put the back of the cement mixer in gold leaf for another $2,000. $12,000. You could have the name Piss Pot TV right across the back of the cement mixer. $2,000 more, gold leafed onto. There are ways. Wait, got to change the FEDORA. We're making deals. Monty Hall, we're making deals. Piss Pot TV, if you're listening, Make a choice. Stick with what works. You could be famous. I could put the name Piss Pot TV on the back of my cement mixer in gold leaf for $12,000. I'll put your channel URL on there. The whole back, everything. For $10,000 and an additional $2,000 for gold. I got the Monty Hall hat on. I'm working deals here. This is my newest SCAMDELL. I know that nobody's giving me any money to get these trolls off the hook. You see how much people give a shit about trolls? You see how much they care about you people? Not one person has given me $10 to get a troll off the list. Why? Because they're all a bunch of ignorant, cheap bastards. They don't care about you. So, how many times has the hemorrhoid asked me, come on, Fazio, take me off the list. Take me off the list. Reign of Man, same thing. They're all garbage people. In real life, I would imagine they're the same. But they're all garbage trolls for sure. So, why wouldn't somebody, nobody loves you. Nobody loves you. I don't see a single person hitting me up with a 10 spot saying, take Brutally Fat Fingers off the block list. She wants to come off the block list. She gets money from people, but she don't want to pay to come off the block list. And that's okay. Brutally Fat Fingers can stay off the block, on the block list forever. How many people asked me to take Brutally Fat Fingers off the block list? 10, 12 times? Would you do it if she said she was sorry? No. I wouldn't. She disrespected me. Okay? I might not even do it for the $10. I might put her in the $50 category. I don't like her. Okay? I don't like her because she lied to me. So that's even worse than what Rain Man did. Rain Man makes egregious statements, but Brutally Fat Fingers, she lied to me. And I don't care. I don't want to hear all that bullshit. One day you say one thing, the other day you say something else. It's a lie. One of those two statements is not true. One of them is a lie. And let's go back. Oh, and one more thing I want to say. Oh my God, Marvelous Mark, the king of the dark. Here's my 10 to keep trolls blocked. I hate trolls. Yeah, me too. I don't never expect it to. Oh my God. I got a pot. I got to tell you, about 2 weeks ago, I won't mention the guy's name. I'm going to get to, thank you, Marvelous Mark, king of the dark. I want to tell you something. There is the truth. There is some truth to what. The guy is a fucking astronaut. There is some truth to some of the shit that guy says. Some of the shit. Very small amount of the shit. One of the truth is you never know who's watching. So there's two truths I'm going to say. So apparently the Girl Scouts, no, we won't talk about the Girl Scouts. They watch. The Girl Scouts of America, they watch. But a guy came on to my show. He did not leave a comment on the show about, I guess it was a long time ago. We'll just leave it as a long time ago. And he said something to me, and it could only be one of like 3 or 4 people. We're talking about somebody that had to know me from childhood. And then I sent him back a comment. He knew it was me because of my name. And I sent him back a comment that it has to be either you, or you. And he said, yeah, it's me. And I'm going, wow, that's pretty cool. So this is somebody that I knew as a child, like 11, 12 years old, from that I was in 6th grade with, said hello to me. And it was something that we did at the United Nations building. We went to the United Nations building, and it was Harold Crosby, Drew Ognebine, he's dead, Bobby Nutter, I think Bobby Nutter has passed away. Myself, Carl Vella, Ronnie Carl was there, Rudy Sanacor, Anthony Godino, about 7 of us. What we did was, before we went to the UN, we got rubber bands, regular rubber bands, nothing special, rubber band. But we took paper clips and we broke them in half. And we, in school, when we were children, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, we used to take the paper clips and put them in the rubber band and shoot them across the room, you know, at each other in school. There was no rules then. And the teacher knew what we did. And as long as you didn't shoot the teacher, you were okay. But we took these rubber bands, and when we went to the UN, we went up into like the higher levels, and we weren't aiming at anybody. We were just shooting paper clips onto the people. Somebody was giving a speech. Have no idea who it was. Don't remember what it was about. All we did was shoot. We shoot thousands of them. We would buy a box of 50. Came a little blue box, blue and red box, blue, red, and white, or blue and white box, and they were just a little chrome plate, and we just shot them for a long time. We just went up and bing, 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 bing. Well, somehow, and I don't know how it happened, but the authorities figured out where it was coming from, and a couple of us got caught. Not all of us, and I was one of those children that got caught. And they just took us to the main office, and then they got our teacher, who was Mrs. Sanders. It was actually probably in the 6th grade, Mrs. Sanders, super cool teacher. And I had her for 4th grade and 6th grade, Mrs. Sanders. And they took us there, and Mrs. Sanders, well, whatever they did, they didn't do anything to us. They let us go. They made us promise to not shoot any more paper clips if we came back to the UN building. But that was funny as all get out. So that was a lot, and it was one of the guys that I got caught shooting the paper clips with. So it could have only been, there might have been 7 of us, only 4 of us got caught. Had to be one of the other 3 guys, and we had a couple of good laughs. That was nice. Now we're talking about what, if we were 11 years old, that would be 53 years ago, 54 years ago. He remembered that. I remember it. Marvelous Mark, the King of the Dark. Salamat. Wait, are we wearing, which hat are we wearing? Are we wearing let's make a deal? All right, let's make a deal. We'll make a deal. Marvelous Mark, the King of the Dark. Here's my $10 to keep trolls blocked. I hate trolls. Yeah, me too. So here's the deal. No trolls will be unblocked at all this week. So no trolls can be unblocked. You guys are going to have to mull this over. I know that no one's got, let's say, what's today's, the 6th, right? No trolls can be unblocked before the 10th of the month. And if you try to unblock a troll before then, your money is forfeited and it goes towards the cement mixer anyway. In the name of the Lord, we're going to see, even the pot is happy. Salama. Marvelous Mark, the King of the Dark. He knows the deal. He knows he's real. He hates the liars. He is a buyer of Super Chat. I'm banging a kitchen utensil because it pisses you off more than Santa Claus. I'm banging a pot. I bang a pot I make a lot. If it pisses you off, that's too fucking bad. No one gives a fuck whether you're happy or sad. That last part, no one gives a fuck whether you're happy or sad. Sounded a little Christmassy, didn't it? A little Christmassy. I said, no one gives a fuck if you're happy or sad. It reminds me of like a reindeer song, something. I don't know where the beat came from. I'm banging a pot because it makes me a lot. No one gives a fuck if you're happy or sad. That is the truth. Live with it, dude. No one likes you and no one ever will. La, 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 la. No one likes you. I'm banging a pot because it makes me a lot. You might think it's bad. I don't give a fuck if you're happy or sad. If you don't like it, don't watch my show. Everyone wants you to go away. Go. The Girl Scouts are coming. Remember Paul Revere when he was in Boston and he ran down the block? He jumped on his... I think, I don't know if he ran through the streets or he went through the streets on horseback, but he went down the streets going, the Girl Scouts are coming. The Girl Scouts are coming. Yay, the Girl Scouts are coming. That was the real words that they are not teaching you about in history. Paul Revere did not say the British were coming. He said the Girl Scouts are coming. They're coming to take you away. Hee hee ha ha ho ho. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. They're coming to take you away. The Girl Scouts are coming to take you away. Hee hee ha ho ha ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. They're coming to take you away. The Girl Scouts are coming. Thank you, Marvelous. I hope you like my little song. That was very nice of you. I would have never... I don't expect Super Chat, even though as much as I like Super Chat, I hear stories. He's always begging, not begging. When you're giving somebody something in return, you can't place a value on Super Chat. I'll give you a perfect, for instance. I run a legitimate scam. If people want to be part of that legitimate scam, they can give me from their heart. I feel I like the scam. It's a good idea. Let me give. I don't like the scam. I don't give. But I can't force people to give me money. And I would not do that anyway. However, I give them something for their money. I give them a show. I give them a little bit of information. I did not see one fucking person tell me how the golden measurement from 7,000 years ago as a universal constant in every language and in every measuring system, the meter, did not hear one person tell me how the meter was created and why it's a constant. I could tell you, maybe I will. I don't know that I will. Maybe I'll save it for another day. It's not a lot complicated, but it should be something that you should know. You use the meter every day. You use every measurement of everything we do in this entire world is based on the meter in every country, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter. A mile is, I think, 1.23 meters. I mean, 1.2 miles is let's see, a meter is 37 something inches. I don't remember the exact numbers, but every measurement is based on the meter, everything. So the only real measurement that I know of why is how the meter was. I don't remember every measurement, how many inches or in a rod or a golden rod. I don't remember that, but I do know how the meter was created and why it's the universal constant, because of something else that is universally constant throughout the universe and probably will be for millions of years. Marvelous Mark, the king of the dark. Here's my 10 spot to keep trolls blocked. I hate trolls. So anyway, anybody watching this live stream, I'm going to end this live stream in a few minutes. I won't be going out to the beach, that's for sure. It's raining. Not that I care, but I have something else I want to do. I also, I'm going to go back to my notes. Scott says, nice pop, Marvelous Mark. Thank you. Marvelous Mark, the king of the dark. Sounds fair to me. Okay, so until the 10th, we will not be accepting unblocking of trolls. No one's going to. Marvelous Mark, as you well heard me say, no one is going to pay $10 to unblock somebody like Brutally Fat Fingers. No one's going to do it. No one likes her that much. She might do it for herself and then come on and bitch, but I'm not going to allow that either. But the hemorrhoid, who in the world would give the hemorrhoid $50? That piece of shit, the hemorrhoid, no pun intended, piece of shit hemorrhoid. See how they go together? He has been abusing people and causing problems on people's channels for 10 years. 10 years 7 years since I've been in the Philippines that I know of. And the guy's a piece of shit as a troll account. The hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid and shit. See how they go together? And no one would give $50 to get him unblocked. And he'll go, oh, Fazio's begging again. I'm not begging. I'm offering you something for the money. If someone wants to pay $50 to unblock the hemorrhoid, I'll unblock him. First time he talks about my ex-girlfriend, somebody's wife, somebody's children, or another channel by name, he gets blocked. Again, somebody could pay another $50. You could do this endlessly. I could make a fucking fortune off the hemorrhoid. But the hemorrhoid isn't worth $50 to anybody. Oh, let's go to the tab at the top of the page. NFL food facts. So I'll put the link out there in a minute. The average price of a hot dog in 2016 is $5.19. The highest price can be found for $7 at the Buffalo Bills Stadium and Seattle Seahawks. I don't know anything about football, so I wouldn't know if those are good teams. I heard the Buffalo Bills. I heard of them. And I heard of the Seattle Seahawks. I never heard of the Baltimore Ravens. Vikings, yes. The best price is $3. And then, so basically it's $1 million or $1 billion industry. Not that it matters. And the NFL, this is what matters, this part. The NFL would have taken in $89 million in sales for food sales that they lost this year. No, that was in 2015. Okay, so I'll copy this and post it. So in 2015, the $1 billion industry, just the NFL, there's the AFL too, I think they call it. American Football League and National Football League. You guys are probably laughing at me that I don't know this stuff. But the NFL would have taken in $90 million in 2015. So what it's basically telling you is that going up 10% a year, the NFL lost $95 million this year on hot dog sales. And then the American Football League, I guess they're about the same. That's $95 million. That's just football. And then you have how many hundreds of baseball teams. So basically they're losing this year. The estimate on one article that I read was about $2.2 billion a year in hot dogs, hamburgers, and pretzels sales in all the different sports stadiums. So being that Trump, and like I said in the beginning, Ronald Reagan said the buck stops here. Ronald Reagan, the buck stops here at his office. He made a direct quote. He was a freaking warmonger and prick, but he made a quote saying that the buck stops here. So if the buck stops here for Ronald Reagan, then the buck stops there for Trump. He's got to accept responsibility for this. Now, I know a lot of people are, I don't care what you people think. I never cared what you think. I'm never going to care what you think. That's why I'm one of the most unique bloggers on YouTube, because I just don't give a shit what you think. You're on a level of thinking that you've been brainwashed by the media and the television and commercials. I have none of that. I don't watch television. I don't listen to commercials. I pay an extra, I think it's $11 a month to YouTube for YouTube Red, so I never have to watch a commercial, ever. If someone puts a radio on and it's not piped in music without commercials, I will tell them to shut it off. If I'm with somebody in a car and they put a channel on with that music where they think that's, and there's a million commercials, I will just say, please shut that off. If I'm on the jeepney, I have to live with that absolutely useless music they play sometimes on the jeepney. I don't know what, I guess it's to keep people awake. Who knows why they play that crap? But I will not listen to that shit. My brain isn't all fouled up with commercials and 2-second takes on things. I did not lose my ability to have cognitive thought. I did not lose my ability to speak. I did not lose my ability to do public speaking in a proper manner. I hear people on YouTube fuck up every 10th word. Not only do they fuck up the pronunciation of every 10th word, but they probably couldn't spell every 3rd word. Why is that? I mean, what is it that you did when school was available for you to take? I mean, I did take a college regents diploma course, and I did pass it, not with a high grade. Passing grades for all my college regent classes, passing was 70 as opposed to 65, and my average may have been 77. May have been. I think that's what it was for the 4 years in high school. On the other hand, my mechanics shops average was, I think it was 92.3 for 4 years, which is high. And I was 17 out of 550 students. And we were aiming for a goal. We had competition. Everybody wanted to be the best. I mean, I was friends with some of the guys that were better than me, and not all of them. They were in different shop classes. But what the fuck did you do when you went to school? I mean, I'm asking you a serious question. What the fuck were you doing in school? And then part of a lifelong education is reading. I might spend on reading on the internet, whether or not the stories are accurate. I probably spend, well, with the lockdown now, I would say 20 hours a week of reading. But I don't just read. I also write. Not a lot, but I have to tag my videos and title them with intelligent words and proper pronunciation, proper spelling. I try to use the hyphens and exclamation points and stuff where they're necessary, unless it's just too long for the title. In the description, I make writing, and I make sure all the spelling is correct, and I don't leave fucking 3-letter titles for a video that no one knows what the fuck the video is about. I actually use my knowledge to do what I do. But I see people on YouTube. Well, the hemorrhoid has no content. Some things about some bloggers are true. Like, I'll go back to Piss Pot TV. I like to use him as an example because he's a fucking mean, malicious bastard. The shit that Passport TV posts is just cruelty. Cruelty, I said. He digs and he digs and he digs into, he tries to get right into the middle of your fucking head, and he fucks with your head all the time, this guy Piss Pot TV. He's fucking mean. I'll use this as an example, though. I will tell you, before I want to piss in his Wheaties, before, when we were friends years ago, before he screwed me proper, we had communication between one another, and he writes a perfect letter. His word phrasing, his paragraph structure, his spelling, his English etiquette is perfect. Man is a super fucking smart dude. He uses it for evil purposes, though. He's a fucking mean, malicious bastard blogger. But he's real smart. So you can never judge a passport by its cover, is what I'm trying to say. But you have some stupid fucking people on here. 2 or 3 letter titles. Capital letters where small letters are supposed to be. Small letters with no spacing. Improper spelling of fucking words. Simple 4 or 5 letter words that you should just look at the word and see that the word is wrong. No capitalization where capitalization is needed. No ability to understand that it's needed because there are too many mistakes on some people's channels. Some people are basically lowbrow, low IQ, and because of their inability to comprehend true reality in the actual reality of the world, they think, oh, and I should add, some people lie. Oof, oh my God, I almost forgot that. That fucking passport, my God, some of the shit he puts up on his channel, total fucking lies, that guy. Where he comes off, how does he do this? I'm talking some fucking lies. This guy he's like, if everybody is here on average and some people are here, fucking passport, he's over here some fucking where in space lies. I never seen somebody lie so much in my whole life as passport. Piss pot. Never. The guy, he said some shit on his channel the other day. Can't be true. I've heard otherwise several thousand times. So Piss Pot talking what he said on his channel for one day, one video, is not going to negate what the real truth is. And the truth is what fucking Passport put on his channel is just fucking wrong. It's a lie. It's mean, malicious hate speech. It's a hate load. Okay, we're getting into, all right, so that's what I know about football. Phoenix in the Philippines says there is no more AFL and no more AFL and NFL, now just conferences. Okay, conferences when a group of people get together. The definition of the word conference. Okay. Thank you for that. See, I would not have known that, Phoenix in the Philippines. I would not have known that at all. I know nothing. Phoenix in the Philippines. I could tell you the game I watched, the last time I watched, who I was sitting with, who I ended up with at the end of the night, why I ended up with that person. And I will tell you that the last time I watched a football game was the year New Year's Day of 1990. That was the last time I watched a football game. And I'm not kidding. So, and I don't play cards. I'm not much for cards. So I was watching, but I remember what was playing on television, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I was watching my friends play cards, and I was hanging out with the kids watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I actually, the first time I ever saw it, last time I ever saw it too, but, well, that one, there's a lot of those things. But so I'm laying on the rug, and the kids were playing with toys. We were at my friend's house. He had a bunch of toys, and I was watching it, and one of my friends come over and goes, "You like that?" I'm going, "Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I never saw anything. I never saw television for years before that. I thought it was pretty cool. It was pretty good about psychic powers and shit like that." So the phone rings, and there's no way anybody would know I was at my friend's house, except for a few, very few people. And it says, "It's for you." I said, "Who the fuck is it?" It says, "Some girl." Okay. And it was a girl. And she said to me, "Let's go for a ride." And I'm going, "Where do you want to go?" She goes, "Staten Island." And normally you don't want to. On New Year's Day, you could travel for 100 miles and not see another car because of the football game. Well, no, it wasn't New Year's Day. It was the Super Bowl of 1990, because nobody's on the road on Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. I get these things mixed up. And everybody was there gambling. And whilst I was on the phone, somebody came in with like 4 big 16 or 24 roll toilet paper. And everybody bought a roll of toilet paper for $100 at the table that was gambling. And everybody put $100 for however many, 7 or 8 people playing cards. They put $100. They bought a roll of toilet paper, and each person would count how many sheets were in the roll. And whoever had the most sheets in the roll won the table. These guys were serious gamblers. So anyway, the girl says, "Let's go." So we went to Staten Island. I don't know what she did. I stayed in the car with her son, and then she came back out, and that was not the end of the day, but that's the end of the story. So that was the last time I watched a football game, Phoenix in the Philippines. Probably I might never watch one again. But thanks for the information. Well, I didn't see anything from Teresa. But if you see something you don't like, Princess Anne, Sweet Cakes Vlogs, just remove it. Don't worry about it. LaRue Segrest is in the house, and Princess Anne is in the house at the same time. 2 Filipino women that have Filipino vlogs. Both of them speak English. LaRue is very religious, so if you want to learn about religion, Sweet Cakes has a vlog where she does live streams to show you what a Philippines neighborhood looks like. So if you're not subscribed and you want to see how the life of a Filipina is, I would suggest those 2 channels. If you're religious, LaRue Segrest more than Sweet Cakes, Sweet Skates. You got it. And they're both very nice women, and we've been friends for several years. So, and also they both do live streams. So LaRue does sometimes. She's a live streaming woman. Sweet Skates. Are you still doing live streams, Sweet Cake vlogs? Are you doing them on a regular basis? Maybe you can put the link out for your channel, girls, LaRue and Princess, please, and post it 3 times. Post the name of your channel and the link in case someone wants, and if you want to leave a note in there, you have a wrench, so you can do that. Thank you. LaRue is watching my ad. Yeah, I heard you have been telling me there's ads running on my show, and Scott said there were ads running on my show yesterday, and the guy who we got caught in the UN building shooting paper clips at the diplomats, he told me there were ads running, and he's from New York. Actually, it's pretty amazing. He still lives in the house that he grew up in and that I grew up playing in his house, and vice versa. His parents passed away. I said, where are you living now? He says, oh, it's the same house. I mean, I can't, I say that his parents were, how many times did I eat lunch at his house? To give you an idea. Almost every day for our entire first 6 years of school. Because my mom would pack a sandwich, and he lived a half a block away from the school. And we used to go to his house and have lunch. So we were good friends. And that's a long time ago, boy. 54 years. So, yeah, that was a long time ago. Let me see. I don't know why I got off on that. Just finished. Oh, he told me that I had advertisements, but the advertisements were New York advertisements. So I gave you the. Did I give you the link for that? No, I didn't. Did I? Yeah, I gave you the link for the NFL food facts, right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to shut that link down. Now we're going to go to hot dog sales at football games. And I don't know what I learned from this page. Not much. These are just ads. Some people call them hot dogs. Some people call them Frankfurters. There's probably other names. Scott calls them Vienna hot dogs in Chicago, and this is yellow mustard. Let's say football game means chili. There's a chili dog, or there's all kinds of. Okay, here's the thing. Ballpark vendor, $2 francs. They have them at rugby games over there. Okay, this is hot dogs, football, and colossal tire of doom. Hot dog I ate. Signature hot dogs. Looks like bacon. Ballpark hot dog vendor. Football game. Mean chili hot dogs. Hot dogs at football game. Deli hot dog. Just a frank on a bun with yellow mustard. Penn State fast fact. 12,000 hot dogs sold at each home football game. And they're like $2 a piece. So that's $24,000 for hot dogs only. All right. I was looking for the Vienna Schnitzel. Hot dog recipes. Anyway, you could see there's all different kinds of hot dogs. More than I ever thought. I mean, I didn't look at this because it didn't interest me. Oh, this looks like you know what this reminds me of? This one here? Take a guess. This reminds me of the Angeles City's blogger and the McCarthy and Manila Blogger Convention. Let's get this up on the screen. That's what that reminds me of. It reminds me of the Angeles City hot dog I mean, Angela City YouTube Bloggers Convention. Huh. Look at all them. Look at all them. Look at how they're laying on top of each other and under each other, and some are up and some are down and some are in and some are out. Yeah, that reminds me of that Angela City crowd of bloggers that like to talk shit about me, especially the Ladyboy lover in Manila. I actually maybe that should be his thumbnail, the Ladyboy lover in Manila. I bet you he gets some views on that. Wonder how I could get that full screen. Yeah, this would make perfect Ladyboy lover in Manila. There it is. Oh, this is all the Ladyboy Manila. This is all him. His one buddy. Here's another one of his buddies. Here's another buddy, and another buddy, some up buddies, some low buddies. Yeah, the Ladyboy lover. And it even says Manila right there. Look, the month of Manila meals. The month of Manila meals. It should say Ladyboy lover logos right here, baby. Ladyboy lover. Keep talking shit, dude. Keep talking shit. That's what we do here. There's about 6 or 7 guys. This reminds me of the 6 or 7 guys that all gather around on that one particular channel, the Ladyboy Lovers channel. They know what he does. They know what he is. They know what he's been doing for 7 years, and they love him. They might physically love him. So did I tell you the story about Hitler's Pope? I did, but I'll repeat the story. Because amongst the Ladyboy lover in Manila's friends and the gaggle of friends that he has that come to his channel and praise him, and he praises them, they praise him, they praise. But we know what he is and what he does, and that's okay. That part doesn't bother me so much. That doesn't have anything to do with me. The fact that that piece of he made himself famous by telling everybody that I was dead. And my family thought I was dead, and there was no way for me to get in touch with anybody. Daisy and I had moved out of our apartment. We had no internet, no electric, and no water because of the typhoon in 2016, 2017. I didn't even know we had no internet or electric or water anywhere in this whole area here. There was nobody had a generator. The water we got was trucked in when the truck could come. We got trucked in water. The water that was in the tanks, in storage tanks in the hotels nearby, they would let you take it out, but you had to dip it in buckets. We had no electric, no internet, no fan, no aircon, and I didn't have a house. This house that I built with Daisy had no, at that time, this wall was off, the wall that the door is in. There was no wall there. And had we put the wall on, I think I would have had to take the wall off, because when the typhoon came, we lost power for 3 weeks, electric and internet. So nobody had internet. So what Daisy and I did, we built this house with no electric. I had a chainsaw, I had a hammer, I had nails, I had Daisy, I had all the tools to do this by hand besides the chainsaw. So we built the house and we left that wall off. And for the whole time, this freaking piece of garbage, Ladyboy lover in Manila, the whole time, he was telling people that we were dead. I was dead. And that to compound it, he was telling people that Daisy killed me. And to compound that, he was telling people that Daisy's mother taught her how to kill her boyfriends or her husband. No, that was the hemorrhoid said that. The hemorrhoid, that's right. scratched the hemorrhoid off coming back on my channel. I just forgot who did that. But the ladyboy lover allowed the hemorrhoid to say that, and the ladyboy lover went along with me being dead and telling everybody that I was dead. And he was building up his channel, making believe I was dead. Everybody knows what he is. Not that it matters what he is, but everybody that associates himself with that channel is the same type of gaggle of worthless bloggers that associated themselves with B-bots. Oh, I never did. Yeah, there were so many people that used to talk about B-bots as your friend, and you were on live stream with B-bots, because they're peas of a pod, birds of a feather, fucked together. Remember that. And so anybody that goes to the Ladyboy Lover in Manila's channel, he was friends with all these people. All these people were friends with B-bots. You got all these pieces of shit now that don't blog anymore because of B-bots. That they made such a great, oh, me and B-bot's a friend, and me and B-bot, oh, I was on B-bot's show. I watched about 12 minutes of his shit and never watched it again. But you got the Ladyboy Lover and all of the people on his channel, which goes back to the Hitler story, the book, Hitler's Pope. One of Hitler's superiors, or inner circle, said that they used to go to a lot of parties with the rich, the astute, the galas with the millionaires of the time and billionaires and the wealthiest families in Germany and Europe, princes, kings. This included the palace, all of these places, the monarchs, the whatever, the lizards, all the popes, all of these people would get together. Now, a normal person would look at these people and say, wow, look at all these rich people. But you don't know what they do in the bedroom. There's some sort of code. There's some sort of codices. There's some sort of hand signal. I do know what one of the hand signals is. It was explained to me by one lonely farmer whose best friend was a gay man. And he explained with a simple handshake how you could tell if a man was gay or not. So there's a coded, just like in the Masons, there's a coded handshake. But there are other things that he did not tell me about, and I don't know about, but there has to be a way. And this fella that worked in the ranks of the Hitler administration said that there could be 1,000 people or 100 people at a party, and a gay or lesbian man or woman would know every single other gay or lesbian at the party in an hour. And you would not know who any one of them were. And they would all, if they wanted to get together, they would make arrangements for that. But there's some sort of code. And that's what I think is going on with the Ladyboy Lover in Manila and all of the people that go to his channel. There's something more than just abusing somebody like myself. There's something more than his affiliation with Christian Filipina, which is, in my opinion, I was on there. I never met a woman that told the truth. Christian Filipina sounds really impressive, right? But wouldn't make a difference what dating site it is in the Philippines. For the most part, the girls don't tell the truth. But he is a very special, he has a very select, he has a very interesting group of friends. And I believe that his friends, when they get together, when no one's watching, they all have hot dogs, wieners, Wiener schnitzels, Frankfurters, hot dogs, Vienna sausage. Some are up, some are down, some are in, some are out. My tribute to the Ladyboy Lover in Manila. Even says Manila on this advertisement. Look, Manila meals, hot dogs, Wiener schnitzels, Frankfurters, Vienna sausage. Should be his logos. A fucking gaggle of hot dogs strewn into the side. Anyway, that's what hot dogs look like. And let's shut that down. And then we'll go back to the live stream. Thank you very much, LaRue, hitting the like for me. Yeah, I don't play cards either, Scott. I would, well, you know what, Scott? Remind me about that ride to Staten Island. I'll tell you a little story. With that group of guys, I would never play cards with them anyway. They play big money. We're not talking about like nickels and dimes on that table. Maybe the minimum in was 50 cents and $10, was the maximum raise. Some of those pots would go up easily to $1,000. I would not play cards like that. Yes, sometimes I do live streams. Thanks, Michael. You're a good person, a great vlogger. Please post the link to your channel, LaRue, and also Sweet Skate Vlogs. Post the link to your channel, please. Yeah, those hot dogs look good. They do look good. That's what they're designed to do, Princess Anne. They're designed to be the perfect color, because I think that hot dogs are not that color. I don't know what color they would be. I think they're more of a tan color, like this. Like this color here. Somewhere in between the lighter shades, something like that. That's what I think hot dogs are in real life. So let me go to another link, and I want to talk about the Ohio State-Michigan game. All right, so this, I'll give you the link for this also, and you could look at the stadium. This is what Trump.
Hey everyone, Wheels here with another.
This is what. Oh, this is the one I gave you. This is what Trump has done to the economy. This isn't fictitious. This is real. This is real. This is what's happened to the economy. Here are the pictures. Here we go. That's the Ohio State. This is the Ohio State Stadium yesterday afternoon, December 6th. Nobody here. Nobody here. Nobody up here. On this side, nobody here. Nobody here at all. Nobody up past the first 6 rows here. Nobody. And nobody over here. 0 up in the higher tiers. This is what Trump has done to the economy. But this is not the other $10 billion industry that Trump has destroyed. This is only one of them. So I'm going to. This is December 5th, 2020. I'll give you the name of this. And I'll give you the link. You can watch this. It's right at the beginning of the it's right at the beginning of the video. It's sick what they're doing. It's sick what Trump has done. It's sick what the elite have done to the world. I could give a flying shit less about football. I wouldn't even when I got free seats on the 8-row yard right up against this, the first where the wall is, right behind where the players, right behind where the players sat. We were at the 8-yard line. I wouldn't even go. The only reason why I went to that particular game was because they had 8 seats, 2 behind each other, 4 in the front and 4 in the back, because it was better for them to get like that, so that the guys, the same group of guys that were at the card table. There was the same group of guys since we were 5 years old. It never changed. Since we were 7 years old, same group. Since we were 12 years old, same group. Same group that went water skiing together, same group. Same group that went camping together, same group. But it wasn't my group of guys. It was the next younger down. but I was friends with all of them because most of the guys at the table worked for me at the time or had worked for me, and I was friends with the owner of the house because we had planned on doing a big job together. So I'll go to the next. Trump is destroying just one business after the other. Okay, so you saw this one. This is a real video from December 5th. I'll shut this one down. And then this one here, let's see what the next one is. Notre Dame versus Syracuse, New York. That I know. Notre Dame. I know the name of New York. If you Notre Dame was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But anyway, Syracuse, New York, I know where it is, but I don't know where Notre Dame College is. Somebody want to tell me that, please? So, come on. See how long it's taken to load this damn thing? So, all the college football games all had only 1% of the stadiums filled up. This isn't going to load. All right, here it goes. Notre Dame versus Syracuse live NCAAF Week 14 football 2020. Okay, 10 hours ago. Somehow they unlisted it. All right, so this is
Defensive line is so much greater.
Let's see if they got it. What a pain in the ass. All right, we're going to the next one. I don't care about that. Yeah, I got it now. Well, it won't play. I thought it would play. It won't play. All right. Next one. Why billions of dollars worth of ships are being destroyed? We're talking about this Carnival cruise ship right here. And then that's all right, hold on. Stop. This Carnival Imagination luxury cruise liner worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This ship right here that you're looking at, I think I Googled it. It was worth $375 million. You know what Carnival Cruise is doing with this ship? They sent it to India to be scrapped. They sent this ship to India to be scrapped. I'm not kidding you. I want to put this in my files as part of, so I can put it in. I want to give people the link. What is this? What happened here? How did that happen? Okay, I'll just go there. I'll stop it there. I want to give people the link to this because it's worth $375 million, this ship. Right here. This one or the other one before it or after it. It's worth $375 million. Okay? And what are they doing with that ship right there? They are scrapping it. They're scrapping the ship. Watch this ship. Look, watch this. We'll open it up. There is nothing wrong with this ship. It's just shipping people across the Atlantic Ocean and week charters and month charters. Just 9 months ago, it was full of people. You couldn't buy a seat on this ship. All the deck chairs and all the luxurious dinner plates and all of that. And watch what they're going to do with this in a minute. Watch where they're bringing it. Look, see where they're bringing it? The Chittagong shipbreaking yard in Bangladesh is the largest of its kind in the world. See this ship here? They took the nose of the ship off. The Indian scrappers take these ships apart piece by piece, plate by plate, rivet by rivet, bolt by bolt, engine block, stainless steel, asbestos, electrical wiring. They take these ships apart. This ship right here in the middle that was worth $375 million a year ago has been brought to the shipyard to be scrapped at the Chittagong shipbreaking yard in Bangladesh. Watch, they're going to ground it right now. Okay, well, you didn't see them ground it. I've watched several documentaries on this, and this is where they rip them apart. These guys get steel wedges, they get sledgehammers, they get torches. They work barefoot, these people, barefoot. They don't even have shoes, taking these ships apart with all the mercury and the zinc and the copper and the chloride and all the chemicals and the leaded paint for the bottom. The average life expectancy is about 34 years old, and they die. And this ship right here, plus industrial ships, this Carnival ship, it's empty. It's on its way to the ship Chittagong, Bangladesh, to be scrapped. This is Trump's legacy. For people that give me grief about what Trump has done and what he hasn't done, Trump is fucking you just like Obama fucked you, just like Bush fucked you. It's just got a different mask on face. It's all part of a plan to destroy the economy of America. It's already dead. You don't understand. You people just don't get it. I don't know why you don't get it. By June of 2021, 82% of all businesses in America, middle class, middle income, middle owned quality businesses, 82% will be gone with no chance of coming back. The ownership of the buildings themselves, the rental companies that rented the building, the powers that be, the bigs, the scumbags that run the world are going to take back the property and properties and businesses and the stores. When I say stores, like, the supplies that are in the buildings that they foreclose on, and then they are the Walmart, the Home Depot, Costco of the world. They'll just be big places to buy your stuff. Everything will be GMO products. You won't have a choice, and they'll poison you between the Jabba Dabba Doo and the GMOs and the chemical mixtures between all of that stuff. You got 10 years to live, maybe. That's the plan. I know you don't believe it. That's the plan. That is the plan. So let me get this. I don't know which picture I took. Was it? Yeah, I took. Okay, so did I get this up? Why billions of dollars worth of ships are being destroyed? Did you understand what I just said? Do any of you people have a fucking brain big enough to comprehend that this is happening now, today? Over 100 ships have been sent to the Chittagong scrapyard since the lockdown. 100, with hundreds more. Because I explained this to you in the video that was called Trump Destroys $10 Billion Shipping Industry. I tried to explain it to you. You don't get it. You're not listening. You're not too fucking bright. You're pretty fucking stupid. You're a bunch of fucking assholes. They are destroying the economy everywhere. This $10 billion shipping industry, it's costing, it could cost $1 million to $4 or $5 million a month for a company to store their ships somewhere. Like, it's $1 million a month when it's out in the ocean stored on an anchor. But it could be $3 or $4 million a month I didn't explain it exactly right. Hold on. 4 big slugs, 7 bubbles. I only had 2.5 slugs. That's only 10.5 bubbles. Fuck. So if you park a ship out in the ocean and it's mothballed, it'll cost $1 million a month. $1 million. $1 million a month. Not $1 million a year, $1 million a month. So if you park a ship out in the ocean, mothballed, which means everything is shut down. It means all the food is out of the refrigerator. It means only minimal generators for minimal systems. No aircon for the ship, no toilet, like there are different sections, cruise quarters, non-cruise, but no luxury quarters, no kitchen thing, nothing all the gas is turned off, all the electric is turned off, everything's turned off. That's $1 million a month. Mothballed, they call it. If you unmothball, if it's not mothballed, when it's mothballed, you need, let's say you need, and this is about what they need. They need 50,000 gallons of diesel fuel a month. And that's part of the $1 million. So 50,000 times $3 a gallon because they buy bulk. That's $150,000 a month just for the diesel fuel. Then you have to have a crew of a couple of hundred people, and you have to have support boats to bring the diesel, bring food for the crew, and then you have to have pump boats to pump out the heads and hard and soft fecal matter and gray and black water. But that's mothballed, $1 million a month. Non-mothballs, which is what some people have, mothballs. But these are non-mothball ships. Could cost $3 million a month out on the anchor. Because now all the systems are working, ready to go. Now, on a mothballed ship, some things cannot be turned off. Like if your life rafts are due for servicing on January 1st and the ship is mothballed, you still have to have your life raft serviced on January 1st. So you still have to pay for your life rafts to be serviced. They usually just replace them. The depth, the automatic meters, the automatic switches that cut the ropes, all that stuff. So the fire extinguishers, the Ansel systems, they all have to be, even mothballed, they all have to be serviced. The fuel in the big tanks for the ship, if it's working off fuel, diesel, depends on what they're using, coal tar or diesel, but that has to be, those tanks have to keep running pumps through the tanks to keep algae and bacteria from flowing in. They have to add additives. They have to run the motors to get fuel running through the motors. Otherwise, the motors, they lose the lubrication on the pistons and the pistons rings, and it takes years off the engine to start it up dry with like the oil that's seeped out of the crankcase. But when it's not, that's when it's mothballed, that shit has to happen. When it's not mothballed, everything has to work every day. Every toilet has to flush. Every life raft has to be up to service. The kitchens have to work. The refrigerators have to be turned on. That's $3 million a month. When you take it to shore, the same ship is $5 million a month. Still need fuel. Everything still has to run. But now you have to pay for dockage by the day. I don't know how much, like $2 million a month for water, and that takes the sewerage out of the ship, whatever it is, and electric. So it could be 1 million mothballed for a ship, 1 million mothballed on anchor, on the hook, 3 million on the hook, non-mothballed, 5 million at the dock. Depends on what port you're in. They have to scrap these ships. 10 months at $5 million a ship per month. That's $50 million. Some of these ships are costing a year. Some more, some less. So that doesn't, If Trump is talking about keeping it till next June, that's another 8 months. That's another $40 million. $90 million lost with no guarantee it's going to come back in June. So they're taking a gamble to scrap the ships now and save $90 million, or keep the ships and maybe lose another $70 million between now and June, $80 million between now and June, and then it might last for 5 more months. So then it's 5 million times 13. 5 times 13 is $65 million for one ship. And then they have to resurface the ship. The life rafts, the Ansel systems, the fire systems, all has to be resurfaced. Do you people not understand what the fuck is going on? It's called the Great Reset. Scott says, those documentaries on shipbreakers are fascinating. They are. Josh Gotti gave us 4 thumbs down. Dude, I don't care about the thumbs down. What I want you to do me a favor, Josh. Joss. Great. Just, Josh, do me a favor. See how many thumbs down. Put like, can you put like, will it give me, well, it's 200 characters, right? Let's see what 200 thumbs down. I want you to do it. I'm not going to block you. I want to see what it looks like on my page. I'm serious. See if you can get 200, or if somebody else wants to try it, let's see if we can get 200 thumbs down. All in like one, like if is a thumbs down 1 character, and you're allowed 200 characters, right? Let's see if you get 200 thumbs down. Come on. Come on. Serious. I won't block you. I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, those documentaries are really cool. Pay attention, Michael. He lost a thriving small business to scumbombers collusion with the NWO. I lost a wonderful business, a beautiful house, 3 properties in Key Largo. That's all true. Fucking bastards. I know I've lost, well, I lost a $1.2 million house at the highest that it was ever worth. I lost outright cash in our property in Tavernier, Florida. It was $30 to get in. That was $30, and it was $10,000 a year for 5 years. So I lost $80,000 on that property. And then I had a property in Hibiscus Park with one other. They were both pharmacists, my partners. I had a property in Hibiscus Park, and it was $65,000 for the property, but we put down $30,000 down. So I lost $15,000, $65,000, and $500,000. I lost $600,000 in a business in cash money that I had invested into the house, and what I lost selling my equipment was worth $50,000. I ended up selling my equipment for a lot less. Just one piece was worth $50,000, and I ended up selling my boat for about 1/5 of what it was worth. But I still got a lot of money for it, but not what it was worth. But yeah, they froze, huh? Okay, thank you. All right, so I'll end the stream. Your froze is the word. Thank you, sweetheart. All right, I'll end the stream. I'll type. Okay, all right, it's on now. Maybe it froze because that Josh guy tried to put 200 thumbs down. I'm not going to block you. I want to see what it looks like. I want to be like, I want to have the most thumbs down ever. I'm serious. Come on here. you're small-minded. I don't care that you're even a small-minded. I think that's a pretty cool thing. See if you get 100 at least, 100, 150, or put 250s or 350s. Or I don't want to break it down into increments like 33 and 33.3333. Let's see if you could get 200. If you split it in half, that's how much, Josh? That's 100. Into fours, that's 50, right? 50, right? What about 8? I know you're thinking it's 25. What about 16? How much would 16 thumbs, 16 parts? Huh? How much? What's half of 25? Come on. So let's see, where else was I going here? Notre Dame versus Syracuse. I could shut that one off. Now I think we're at the shipbuilding now. Okay, billions of dollars of ships. Now I think I have that in my notes. Yeah, okay. I can shut that off. Billions of dollars of ships. I'll just scan this. So this beautiful ship that was $350 million had a value before this piece of shit in the White House destroyed the economy. It was worth $350 million to build this boat. And now they're scrapping it for 3 reasons. I'll tell you what the reasons are, too. The reasons are China, this is going to sound, China is in the process of building bridges. I don't know where they're building bridges to, but they're in the bridge building business to make steel for bridges all over the world. So China's steel industry doesn't have enough steel to build or to supply the bridge building companies that they supply steel to. So steel is at an all-time high worldwide or in Shubakang, Bangladesh, wherever, but it's the highest price it's ever been in history for the price of steel. So the ship that was worth $350 million, I didn't listen to what it's worth as scrap, but at least they're collecting, I don't know, 10% of the value of the ship. Maybe they're getting $35 million for the ship as scrap, and then these guys scrap out every ounce of every metal in the ship. If there's a bronze nut, then they put it in the bronze pile, and they spend their whole life doing this. Scrapping is a hard life, and China is buying the ships at the highest price ever. And then, first of all, don't you worry about the fucking economy coming back, because it ain't going to happen. Don't you worry about that. That is not the plan. Not anytime soon, and certainly not before a lot of people die. I would think a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are dying that they're not telling you about, from lack of food, lack of health care, lack of necessities. And come January 1st, that piece of shit that waived the mortgages for 3 months said you don't have to pay your mortgage for 3 months until the first of the year. Come the first of the year, you owe those 3 months and January. That's 4 months. 19.1 million houses will be foreclosed on January 1st. Proceedings will start by the 10th of January. That's an estimate because of that piece of shit you have in the White House. So did I post that link? I don't know if I posted that link. I forget. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I'll shut that link down. I'm trying to clear up my tabs here. Another thing that you stupid bastards you don't see happen. Now, where am I buying my cement mixer from? I'm buying it from a Chinese guy, direct from China. Why am I buying the cement mixer from China from a Chinese guy? And paying $23,000 plus shipping from Cebu to here. Why am I doing that? Because China's the only person that makes that cement mixer. And actually, the concept of it is amazing. I'll show you the cement mixer in a minute. But the product itself is amazing. I'll give you the link for it. Now, but no one else makes it. And besides that, there is no shipping into the Philippines at all. And if you're not set up to sell in the Philippines, it would pay. I would have to go to China and buy it in China, okay? Because I would never send $23,000 to a company in China. I would have to buy it, put it on a truck, and put it on a loading dock, I know how to ship stuff. Now, I'm not good at it, and, I'm pretty sure I took a beating last time, but I took a beating. When you knew it's something, you take a beating. But I'd have to go to China, which I could have did. And, if the lockdown wasn't in existence, I would be going to China to buy the machine. Because I'm not giving somebody $23,000 on the phone or over the internet. So I'd have to go there with a truck, buy the machine, see it run, put the machine on the truck, bring it to a loading dock, hire a freight forwarder, forward it from China to Cebu. There's an international port in Cebu. And then from Cebu, I'd have to clear it through customs and bring it to Bohol. But this guy has an office in Makati, and I told him put one in Cebu come January, and I'll come take a look at it. I don't want it shipped from Manila. It's a pain in the ass to ship stuff from Manila anyway. But I've tried it a few times. And besides, if I go to Cebu and the machine is there, I'll just bring it to my customs broker that does work for me when I bring stuff into the Philippines. I'll just get a quote from him. If I don't like it, there's 12 customs brokers on the block. They all do the same thing. It's like customs broker, customs broker, customs broker, customs broker. It's like 12 shops. They're all customs broker. Right around 3 blocks from the J Mall. So here's the machine. So why do I have to buy it from China? Because if America made this machine, it would cost $50,000. So here's the machine. It holds 2 tons. It'll pick up 2-ton bag of cement. It drops it into this round hopper. It's got 4 wheels in the back, Super Duty 10-ply tires, 2 wheels in the front. 1 man operates the machine. It's self-propelled, runs down the block, self-propelled at 20 miles an hour, and it mixes 2 cubic meters of concrete in 15 minutes. So that's putting the mix in, putting the water in, and dumping the mix and ready for another load. It'll do that 4 times an hour. So I'll give you the link. So why am I buying it from China? Because no one else could produce this product for less than $23,000. Is it a good price? Well, will I save money with it? Yes. Will I save manpower with it? Yes. Does it have a good resale value? Yes. Would it be fun to make videos? Yes. So I'd like to buy this. So I think I'm going to buy it. I really have, this is what's on my mind. So I'll be going, if there is no, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with some people on here. There is nothing being shipped from Manila to CEBU to Bohol from the company I want to buy a computer from. This company has different units from this company in Manila, and they can't get anything shipped to Cebu. So even if I bought it, I couldn't ship it to Bohol. All right, so let me get that up there. So there is no, and the Asus i9, the reason I would have went to Makate if it was possible and give them a deposit for the machine so I could buy a computer, an Asus i9. So if there was an Asus i9 available in Makati or Manila, I would have just went there and bought both at the same time. But I can't, because I can't go there and come back without being in quarantine. If I could, believe me, I would have. So let me get rid of that, and I'll show you the engine. I'll tell you what this engine would cost if it was made in America from Detroit. This engine here that's in the machine, 50 horsepower, four-stroke water-cooled diesel engine. Price of the unit is $2,200 each. Compression, ignition, blah, blah. The specs are not really necessary, what the specs are, but if you had to buy this made in America, it would be $2,200 in US dollars from Shanghai. It would probably be $5,500 to $6,000 for that engine, water with the cooling system and everything, and the hydraulic system. But that's just an engine. That's just an engine. That's not the cooling and the hydraulic system. So that the engine would be about $5,000 in American dollars, and that hooks up through different mechanisms to run the hydraulics and to run the transmission, the forward and the back transmission. So let's see what else I have. Grab bucket, done. COVID-19. People don't get it. You don't get it. You people are dumber than dog shit. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. Here's a good interview. Nobody is telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I have the wrong hat on. I'm telling you the truth. So here's this is a 4-minute video. And that's the problem with you people. You don't have enough fucking brain power to watch a 4-minute video. I don't understand it. I sit there and watch 35, 40-minute, 50-minute, hour-and-a-half documentaries. I love it. I like doing so. This is a 4-minute. I'll give you a short clip. This is what the Great Reset is. This is what's going to happen. This is the plan. This is what they've been doing. And this is real. And then I'm going to shut this off. Now, this one is with a pretty intelligent guy. COVID-19, The Great Reset with James Dellingpole. Dellingpol. All right, so I'm going to shut that off. And then I'm going to bring this over here. This is a great video. And I'm not being facetious. It's a quick video for the beginners. And you should pay attention. You should read that. Hanging up on you, host. Okay. All right. So all right, LaRue. Thank you. I think I'll end the live stream now anyway. I'll keep the other windows open for tomorrow's live stream. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Can you hear me? We have a lot of problems on the internet this week. I'm gonna have to have the people come